I'm finna do my 5 years and get up out of here. This 5 years is gonna be a breeze. Okay, got a toilet right there. All right, big fella, why don't you toot that ass up on that bed? Hey, my man, I just came to do my time. I ain't waiting. I look like a peanut butter Reese cup, and I need a piece. Bro, I don't know what you see, but I just came to do my time. You gonna do your time while getting hit from behind? Now toot that ass up. Bro, you tripping. I'm not with none of it. I just came to do my time. But I'm gonna go ahead and flip this. Jail there for jamming your ass while you in lockup. Oh, now you tripping. Go. And I'm on hard. Go. On hard. Go. On hard. Get naked before I come over there and take it. Bro, what is wrong with you? That's the sound of me on your.
Damn, Eric Swalwell's got some problems when he gets to prison. P. Diddy's going to give him the P business. What's up, everybody? So great to have everybody here tonight. So great to see you. Sorry that I'm an hour late, but I was cooking. Rob started late, and I was able to get the video all uploaded. That's right. I uploaded the Biltong video. Now you're hungry. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Yes, it was really funny. What's up, Richard Tatership? How you doing? Great to see you. Awesome to see you, Finch. Dan, awesome to have you. Pat Hacker, good to see you. Kelly J, Karen O, None Your Business. Miss Gatlin, Finch, how you doing, Sherry? Who else we got here? We got Trooper, CF Rob. What's up? None Your Business. Sunny Day. Big Harry says hitting the like button makes you more attractive to the opposite sex. That's what I hear. Renee was going to raid me, but I guess I started too late. Shadowwings was first, maybe. And then who else here? Anybody? Hey, what's up, Ag? How you doing? Great to see you. Oh my God, the raid came in while I was saying hello to everybody. What's up, Boohoo? How you doing? Boom Shakalak is here. Steph's here. Brenda's here. What's up, man? Jenny Owens is here. I was teleported from Robert Cavea. Well, thank you so much to people that came over from the raid. We were just talking about how Eric Swalwell is going to have some problems in prison. You know, from people going to want to get that A. But anyway, hey, from Alaska, how's it going, Bumpkin? Yes, and I did post a video of me cooking the great meats that I got from the King of Biltong today. He sent me some ribeyes. He sent me some chickens. He sent me some Boer Wars. I don't know if it's Boer Wars sausage. I did put the whatchamacallit, the stuff on, but this is right here is the stuff that he sent me. You see the ribeye, the quarters, and the Boer Wars, and good stuff. I cooked it all up. There's a video there, maybe later if you want to check it out, and you want to go and see what it looked like getting cooked up on the Traeger smoker. Check it out. It says, look great. Your yard looks beautiful. Well, thank you. Got to feed the neighbors rabbits. We'll leave some the stream play for the algorithm. Well, thank you. I feed my rabbits all the time. I love my rabbits out there. I feed them all the time. They're great. Lisa Day, good to see you. Yes. Good evening, Regine. How you doing? So thank you to all the raiders. Please hit the like button and please subscribe. We're trying to make this channel grow. We really are. And it really helps if you hit the like button and you subscribe. I mean, I know some people left already because, they come over and they go, who is this weird guy? But it is what it is. But hit the like, please subscribe. Garfield, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. There is a goal tonight. The show is going to be about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, unless we hit the goal, which the way it works is for every $100 in total that comes in across all platforms, YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, becoming a member or gifting a membership on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, Locals, Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up, and when we hit 100, we add an extra hour. For each additional 100, we add another additional hour to the show. And then when we hit 50, we activate Bellavision, which you can see she's licking herself. Unless somebody gives $25 or greater as an individual, that could be a Cash App, a PayPal, Super Tip, a Super Chat, or it could be even like 5 memberships or anything. Doesn't have to be at the same time. And then we activate Bellavision. K Bean brought me here, so of course I subscribe. Well, K Bean is awesome. She's one of my favorite mods. Don't leave, people. Jim's a good channel to follow. He is. I get seasick trying to watch the video. Oh, because I was holding the camera. Was it moving too much? I'm sorry. My bad. Look at this. We got our first of the evening from CF. Rob says, hey, Bellavision. Well, thank you so much with that right there, folks. That means we are now just 98 away from adding a first additional hour and just 48 away from Bellavision. And I believe there was also a rant on Rumble I'll have to get to in 1 second. Thank you so much. I believe there was a rant. $2 rant on the Rumble right there. Donating makes you irresistible. Well, thank you, Big Harry. That's the way it goes. And you guys will notice I interact with the chat like as the show's going on. I know some people don't like that, but I find it much better to try to see what people are saying, answer questions as it goes. And with that, $2 on Rumble, we're now 96 away from adding a first hour and just 46 away from Bellavision. Well, that's what we do. All right, let's get into this first news story of the evening. Let's go. All right, Eric Swalwell. Eric Swalwell's in trouble, and his troubles just got worse. Ruh-roh-roars. I love an interactive hosted chat. Well, thank you. I try. I think it's great interacting with the chat. I try. I do the best I can. Lady Bama, great to see you. Some people don't like it, though. They think, they don't like the interruptions and stuff, but it is what it is. So former Congressman and California gubernatorial candidate Eric Swalwell's problems just continue to mount. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Ag. Continue to mount. And look at that. We had $25 on Cash App from Ag. So that means it stays right there. Yes. Thank you, Ag. I got it. I just saw it. So that means right now, folks, we are just $71 away from adding a first additional hour to the show, and Bellavision is activated for the evening. So that's how that works right there. Thank you so much. Hello, Roselle. How you doing? Can't please them all. Well, I try to please as many people as possible. That's what I try. I know you can't please everybody, but I do make an effort to try to keep as many people happy as possible. Like I said, I'm just starting out here. I'm trying to get the channel to grow. I don't know the best way to do things. I'm learning. I'm just doing what I think is best, what people like. Let's hear about Swalwell. That's right. Let's hear about it. So the smug liar who projected all of his issues onto President Trump appears to be in even more serious trouble. A few days ago, we had this update. Newly declassified files show that Swalwell admitted to a sexual relationship with Christine Fang, a.k.a. Bang, 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 Tang, Tang. Now it's reported the FBI seized his devices from him at 2 different locations. That's right. They stopped him at the airport, San Francisco airport. You guys, you know what I had with my biltong tonight? I had some of that San Francisco treat, rice-a-roni, with my biltong. It was pretty good, too. You came from Cecil says, Cecil, I love Cecil. Such a great guy. He swallowed and lost his wife and laptop and phone. Yes, he did. He sure did. I'm trying. So FBI agents confront Swalwell at the San Francisco airport and seize his electronics as part of a sexual misconduct investigation. Well, I mean, they tried. They did. They seized. That's how that works. So they confronted him with a search warrant when he landed in San Francisco and seized his devices. The agents, armed with additional court-approved search warrants, entered his house in Washington, D.C. Now, I wonder, is that the house he shared with Gallegos? Didn't him and Gallegos share a house? Weren't they buddies? Weren't they pals? Weren't they compadres that like to, do things to women? I think that's what I heard. I think the two of them were, and another guy, what was it, Jimmy Gomez? Was he leaving the country? No, I think he just got back into the country. Was he the dude with breasts? No, that's, is that Gallego or, I don't know. Gallego, I also got, what's his face? Jimmy Gomez is another one. Like, they're three amigos, these three guys. And Jimmy Gomez is being investigated by the ethics committee right now for supposedly assaulting, if you know what the rape means, whatever, non-consensual sex. Back in my day, we just called that rape. We didn't call it all these weird names. When somebody did that, you say, hey, you're a raper, dude. Get away from me, raper. Now they say all these different words. He might try to fly to China. He could. But so, yeah, Jimmy Gomez, congressman, he's got issues. You got Gallegos is under investigation for his stuff. And you got Swallows well. He likes to swallow very well. He claimed investigations of him were just another example of Trump going after political opponents. Yes, Gallegos should be in jail for grape. Yes, he should. You look it up. Yeah, there's three of them. They were all hanging out together. That's the thing. They were Congress buddies. Like, there's a video or pictures of Swalwell and Gallegos in, I want to say Kuwait or something, or maybe UAE, in basically topless on camels. He can get a job with Rent a White Man. Yeah, definitely. The FBI now got warrants and seized his electronics. So he probably, they should probably confiscate his passport, maybe. So they confront him at the airport and seize his electronics as part of this investigation. Please, check this out. That was Kristi Noem's husband. Yes, you're right. That was Kristi Noem's husband that decided that he was a man now. Yes. Hey, look at this person. This guy's name is Christ. Hey, homie, I can share your stream in a Kick community to help you hit 1,000 followers and 800 viewers and also earn 1,000 per stream. Add me on Discord, Ristifer6. Okay, I'll get right on that. Thank you. The trouble for Swalwell is that his party and the liberal media seem to have pretty much cut him loose. That's right. He's done. He done. Like Gateway Pundit says, they confront him at the airport and seize all his devices. So former Democrat who is under federal investigation received a nasty surprise at the airport a few days ago. It's weird that they didn't report this sooner. We had to find about days later. The agents also entered Swalwell's D.C. home with warrants and seized additional devices. At least 4 females have come forward, including a former staffer who said Swalwell raped her twice, and she was intoxicated, was too intoxicated to consent. Once in 2019 and once in 2024. Now, I will, just to be, a non-hypocrite, I will say that I find this odd that you say you got raped by somebody in 2019, and then all of a sudden you just decided to go out drinking with them again in 2024. I don't know, man. To my ears, that sounds like somewhere. I'm not calling her a liar, and I'm not saying this guy's not a creep and a scum and he didn't rape her, but if somebody does something to you, you don't hang out with them 5 years later and give them the opportunity to do it again. Just saying. That to me sounds like, I don't know. What's up, Lisa? How you doing? Swalwell has no party. Well, Swalwell was never a Republican, I don't think. Swalwell was never a Republican. He's always been a Democrat. Another woman claims Swalwell drugged her and raped her in 2018. 2 of the women alleged that he sent them unsolicited dick pics. You're wondering why now the Dems want to prosecute Swalwell? It is weird. Like, what do they got on? It's a little sketchy. That's all I'm saying. I'm not calling her a liar, and I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that doesn't sound like. Really? Thanks for showing your hypocrisy. How is that hypocrisy? It does seem odd. Greg, I'm starting to wonder about you, man. I really am. Swalwell's also under investigation in Manhattan after a former staffer said that he raped her in 2024 in Manhattan. So this is 3 women claiming that he raped them. It's kind of like, at some point you go, wow. So this woman says, I went to the bathroom. I don't remember anything after that. And that the next day she remembers the next day only. She sees flashes of that evening of him on top of her, her pushing him off, him grabbing her. It was a lot of more aggressive. It was aggressive, she says. So I'm not okay with anybody raping anyone, Greg. How's that? I'm not. I don't believe the allegations of E. Jean Carroll at all. I think she's crazy. I messed up that one. I didn't know. I thought Swalwell, but no, he was never a Republican. No worries. According to the memos, Fang Fang actually went to Swalwell's apartment at least twice, and he does not remember having candles lit while she was there. He farted on camera. He's definitely guilty. Tater Dot, I understand. Yeah. That what was it? What did he say? We're going to get the bull by the bill or bull by the bill or something like that. It was like Fang Fang would show up at Swalwell's apartment not wearing any underwear. Well, as a man, all right, if I was single, well, I am single. How should I put this then? If a woman's going to show up at a man's house and she's not wearing any underwear, I don't see why the man would have any problem with that. I really don't. I mean, for the woman, maybe she just doesn't like to wear underwear. Maybe she likes to air it out, Maybe she likes to, I don't know, she likes to feel the breeze in a skirt going across her lady parts. I'm just saying, I don't know why they have to make it a big deal about her showing up not wearing any underwear. I mean, okay, personal story. One time, a girl showed up to my house many years ago, wearing just nothing but a trench coat. And when she opened the trench coat, there was nothing underneath it. I was not angry. I said, come on in. I wasn't a congresswoman, and she wasn't a Chinese spy as far as I know, but it was fun. It was an enjoyable evening for everyone. I wouldn't want her sitting on my furniture. Well, that's why I have plastic on my furniture. Protects it. So, why do guys not wear underwear? Some guys don't like to wear underwear. Some guys, I like boxer briefs more than anything. Like boxers. I used to wear boxers. Now I like the boxer briefs. I'm just saying. What's up, King of Biltong? I posted the video. I got the delivery today. I posted the video of all the food. And since you're here, I want to thank you so much for the excellent food that came today. Oh God, my brain is not working. Why is my computer not working now? I was trying to post something and it's pausing. The ribeye steak, the chicken, and the I don't know the correct way to say the word boar. To me, it looks like it's spelled Boer Wars. I posted the video. I made a video, posted it. But if you guys don't know, if you want to check out the video, the awesome food that this guy sells, it is great. The food was amazing. The sausage was great. It's farmer sausage. So is that what it's just Boerwer's sausage, which is farmer sausage? I just like Boerwer's, but so head over to www.biltongusa.com. Use promo code Jim to save 10%. They have 8-ounce bags of biltong, which make excellent gifts. They also have, this chicken. They have steak. They have sausages. They have smoked sausages, hot dogs. They've got jalapeno sausage. They've got cakes, candy, snacks, and cookies from all around the world. They've got everything, and they deliver it fast and fresh right to your door. It's a great American company by a great American man named Anton. And yes, I consider Anton to be an American man. He's as much an American as any of the rest of you people. So head on over to the King of Biltong and buy some food. Tell him Jim sent you. Ha! So that's so Biltong, it was great. I put the video, like I said, this is the stuff that he sent me. I cooked it today. It came out great. I think Yeah. The farmer sausage boer wash was a little spicy, not bad, just had a little spice to it. The chicken was really good flavor too. Yeah, the sausage that was grilled looked really good. It was really, really good. Really, really good. Boer Farmer Wars sausage. Ah, I thought I was just like reminiscing about the Boer Wars. You know, I know a little bit about history. The grilled chicken looked delicious. Yes, it did. It did. It did look delicious. Need crunch while watching Jim. Well, let's see. I have a, let's see here. Here, we can put this real quick. It looks pretty good. I couldn't really record any other videos because my phone is overheating, but there it is. Looks great. Yep, see, there's a chicken. Yeah, that chicken is great. It is amazing. It is amazing. Let's see here. Another video file. Here, just in case anybody, you guys didn't get to see the video, didn't get to watch it. So here's the finished product, the steak and the sausage, which looks great. The chicken is still cooking, and unfortunately my phone is overheating, so there's some rice-a-roni. Look at that. Yummy. Yeah, so this is what we're going to have for dinner, plus the chicken when it's done. So this will be the end of the video. Thank you all so much. Enjoy. Yay. So, yeah. So, yeah, it looks really good. It was good. It was tastes really good. You're hungry? No, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. I will say it looks great. I'm looking forward. I think I'm going to order some. I'm going to order some of the smoked sausage that you got, the jalapeno smoked sausage, and maybe the queso smoked sausage, and maybe some hot dogs. Check those out. No salad. No, I'm staying away from salad. I'm staying away from salad since it gave me since it almost killed me last week. No salad for a little while. No. You just made a rhubarb crisp and a chicken casserole for dinner. Well, that's awesome. I'm staying away from lettuce for a while. That's all. You had a salad at $1,400. Well, last time, no, it's like that's a beef sausage. It's a Wagyu beef sausage. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. So same thing here. You got the Fox News says FBI seizes Swalwell's devices. And then this is going to be about Swalwell and Gallegos here. Let's see what they say.
The full report tonight. Christina Coleman, she is with us. Christina, very, very, very alarming.
Alarming indeed, Sean. And, if all these allegations are true, he certainly is a giant creep. That's the best way to describe it. What you just said there. Today, Swalwell's attorney called the sexual misconduct and assault allegations a calculated and transparent political hit job. But lawyers representing Lana Drews, who says he drugged, choked, and raped her, slammed that assessment.
This is about much more than politics, and belittling such serious allegations is offensive to Lana and the victims everywhere. This is not about Democrat versus Republican. This is about accountability versus silence.
Swalwell announced yesterday that he's resigning from his congressional seat, saying in part, quote, "I'm deeply sorry to my family, staff, and constituents for mistakes and judgment I've made in my past. I will fight the serious false allegations made against me." But he didn't clarify what those mistakes even were. And either way, he got swift condemnation from both sides of the aisle, including from his friend, Democrat Arizona Senator Ruben Gallegos, who claims Swalwell betrayed his trust.
This man lived a double life. He lied to us. He lied to his family, lied to his constituents. Some of the most powerful people in this country, even before he ran, he was trusted with some positions that normally we would never think someone like this could do if they're leading that double life. And again, I was manipulated. I was lied to, and everyone else was too.
And tonight, Governor Gavin Newsom announced a special election will be held on August 18th to fill Swalwell's congressional seat. Sean?
All right, Christina, thank you for that report tonight.
That's awesome. So, yeah. Wait, what? Shut up, Fox. So Swalwell's got some problems. He's got some problems. He's got some problems. I think the FBI is looking at him because if you bring people across state lines type of thing, and then you got issues. Yes, it is about time. Yes, wake up, sheeple, trolls, and tyrants. That's right. So You overcooked the steak. You had the internal temperature at 148. I like it rare to medium rare. I usually go for 145 and try to get it off, but I was like, I don't know, I was doing multiple things. So, the chicken is something where you got a chicken is done at 160 like that, but technically the chicken, you should try to get it a little higher. That way it'll break down the some of the stuff on the leg itself. Like the thigh is fine at 160, but other stuff, you got to cook it a little longer to get the leg to break down and be nice and tender, to break down the fats and stuff. But that was excellent. It was fantastic. 165. The chicken? No, the chicken you want to like a dark, if it's dark meat chicken, you want to cook it till it's like 175, 180 to break the stuff down. Same thing with dark meat turkey. You got to get that up there. Otherwise, it'll be chewy instead of being tender. That's what I've always done. White meat chicken is completely different. White meat chicken, 155, 160, that's it. Boom, done. Yeah, 165 on chicken so you don't get sick. Yeah, no, but with dark meat, you want to cook it hotter. You want a minimum of 165, but if you got dark meat, you want to get it hotter to break down the other stuff in there. There's like, you hit your steak at 135, sausage 145, chicken 170. There you go. Well, my steak was a little more done than I like, but it was fine. It wasn't overcooked, but I let it get up to 148, and that was a problem. But the sausage, I might have overcooked a little bit too because, well, I didn't know. But it was good. 130, 135 for steak. Well, everyone. I don't like well done steak, but I don't like it bloody. I like it pink. I not have a thermometer. Chicken at 170. Oh, thanks. Yeah, chicken, dark meat chicken, you got to really cook. To break down, not because of getting sick, but because of the extra fat and stuff, the collagen layers and stuff in the dark meat. You want it to break down and make the meat tender as opposed to chewy. That's all. So, yeah, so he's got problems. Rare is like raw. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we'll jump to story number 2 of the evening. Did you guys know? That's the Commie, this Commie scumbag, Hasan Piker, his brother held top secret security clearance, worked on Air Force One and the nuclear Doomsday plane at Boeing. I fried chicken wings to 200. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. This is crazy. He bought a $2.7 million house in LA. How did he do that? Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Arrest every Piker, brother Piker, and Piker adjacent immediately. That's right. Arrest them all. Arrest them all. So anti-American commie Hasan Piker's brother worked on top secret security stuff, including Air Force One and Doomsday plane at Boeing. I didn't know it either. Now I do. There he is. While far-left Twitch millionaire Hasan Piker built an enormous following attacking the United States and praising communist dictators and declaring that America deserved 9/11, his younger brother was working on some of the nation's most sensitive military aircraft. Matt Piker, Hasan's younger brother and frequent live stream companion, spent more than a decade working as an aerospace engineer at Boeing, according to a bombshell report from the Washington Free Beacon. Now, I wonder, did he tell them that he didn't need to learn how to land the planes? He just needed to learn how to steer them? His projects reportedly included the new Air Force One, the E-6B Mercury nuclear command aircraft, airborne surveillance systems, drones, satellites, and Boeing spacecraft. I wonder how much classified information his brother possibly took and passed along to the Chinese communists or the Iranians or some other terrorist organization. Seems kind of like a dumb move to have somebody with these dubious ties working on top secret shit. Just saying. I wouldn't be cool with that. Yeah, his pride. Yeah. So according to Marat's public LinkedIn, he worked for Boeing's Defense and Space and helped lead the mechanical design and integration of next generation satellite structures. He holds a master's in aerospace engineering from UCLA and active security clearances. Not anymore. Not anymore. A person familiar with his employment history told the Free Beacon that he held a top secret security clearance. That would place the brother in one of America's loudest anti-American. That would place the brother of one of America's loudest anti-American commie influencers inside the heavily vetted world of classified defense contracting. Why is no one accountable? That's what I'm saying. How did this guy get a security clearance? Talk to Elon. Eh? How did this guy get a security clearance with his brother being who he is? They look into your family. At least they're supposed to. Matt Murat also admitted during a recent interview with Rolling Stone that he performed some work on Boeing's VC-25B, the official designation for the next generation of Air Force One. Oh, maybe that's why they thought that Iran was going to launch at the new Air Force One. Maybe they thought, is that where they got the information? Is that where they got the facts about it? Is that where the information about the inadequacies or the, whatever they want to call it about the plane came from? I actually worked on VC-25B a little bit, he said. And then Hasan undercut him. Yeah, on the toilet. Don't let him act like he did anything cool. How do I know Hasan Piker's brother worked on Air Force One? Because Murat Piker bragged about it in an interview with Rolling Stone, which I know, understandably, very few people read. Hasan's username is Hasan Abi from the Turkish for Big Brother, because he's like a big brother to his young fans, but it was Murat's Abi first. At one point, Piker overhears his brother telling me about his old job as an aerospace engineer at Boeing, and he goes, yeah, he worked on the toilet. Says, let's just say, Ayafeya. Hello, brother. I'm on Drive, am on Discord. Add me now so I don't miss next stream. Lol, username iFi Mosey. Oh, well, cool. All right, we'll do. I'll see you there. Brother's friend worked on James Telescope. I even helped. Told John. Ding issue was probably dirt. So Hasan was jealous of his brother. That's what it sounds like. He was a little jealous of his brother. Free Beacon noted that there is some dispute over the extent of his work on the presidential aircraft. The source familiar with the program claimed he was not formally assigned to the VC-25B and did not possess the specific clearance required for that program. Oh, so that's good. So there's not just like a welding. Okay. The welding. Okay, welding. My brother's drinking issue caused my United States Air Force security clearance to get flagged. Yeah. Like, how was this guy's clearance not flagged? I mean, it's serious stuff. According to the Navy, the E-6B provides nuclear command, control, and communication between the President, the Secretary of War, and the U.S. Strategic Command. What's up, Sledge-O-Matic? I keep hearing that guy from the Bugs Bunny cartoon, Hasan Chop. Yes. I wish somebody would give my old chop. So the aircraft can maintain communications with America's nuclear forces if ground-based command systems are destroyed or disabled. It's also equipped with airborne launch control system capability to direct the launch of land-based ICBMs. In other words, it's not your ordinary aeroplane. Murat listed Boeing projects reportedly also included the E-3 Sentry. Oh, what do you know? The E-7 early warning airplane. These are very important planes, just so you guys know. The E-3 and the E-7 are like top secret, like highly sensitive shit. That if he was giving out information, or if he gave it to his brother, or the Orca extra large unmanned undersea vehicle, Boeing CST-100 Starliner, and the Viasat-3 communication satellite. Oh. Boeing declined to confirm the details of his assignments. I remember about a month ago, Joe did a segment on Ro Khanna and his fortunes are better than Nancy Pelosi. Newsmax just did a big hit show on him today. All the money he's worth, another one is going to go down. I hope so. I don't like him at all. Ro Khanna. Commie Ro is his name. Hasan built a massive following by attacking the U.S. and its military power. He had said he would vote for Hamas over Israel every single time. He has no issue with Hezbollah. He called Jews inbred and suggested America deserved 9/11. So he has served as a surrogate for the progressive Democrats in the 2026 cycle while leaving the high life as a multi-million-dollar home. He campaigned with the socialist Wisconsin candidate Francesca Hong and vowed a Republican will never be elected in Wisconsin once their movement seized control. Oh, Huh. Why, they wouldn't have elections? They'll be like the guy in Nicaragua, Ortega, who's just not going to have elections anymore. He also is a major surrogate for Abdul El Sayed, the terrorist candidate in Michigan. Following his El Sayed's victory, Piker lashed out at Democrats who opposed the candidate, calling them Islamophobic pieces of shit, and said they were going to take him out. When NBC confronted El Sayed about Piker's America Deserved 9/11 remark, the Democrat nominee attempted to dismiss it as gotcha politics and cancel culture. AOC similarly refused to disavow Piker when confronted about his statements. Wow. Every day I'm more and more think about the statements of the late, great George Carlin when he would say, "It's a big club and you ain't in it." Like, how does this stuff keep happening? All right. I don't know. Piker, not good. Not good. All right. Story number 3 for the evening is Trump declares economic D-Day against the Iranian regime. What does that mean? What is an economic D-Day? Are we going to storm the beaches? Trump is not yet ready to bomb the Ayatollahs to hell, even though they so richly deserve it. But he's implementing major economic sanctions and blockades against the regime. After confirming his administration was no longer in any talks with the Iranian regime and teasing the idea of claiming the Strait of Hormuz for America, he issued a new update on Wednesday. This time, he detailed his next move in the conflict. He posted, "No one has given the Islamic Republic of Iran a greater opportunity to make a deal than me. Tragically, they have failed to take it." What's this? Okay, I guess I'll have to look at what that is. It said, therefore, he's announcing the most crushing economic operation ever taken against any country. What does that mean exactly? What does that mean? Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that. That's crazy. That is crazy. We'll get to those. We'll get to those stories. Thanks, Gundam. We'll get to those. Huge fan of George Carlin. Oh, yeah. I always liked George Carlin. So, in his usual grandiloquent style, grandiloquent. I've never heard of that word before, grandiloquent. I heard of grandiose, eloquent. So maybe that's a combination of grandiose and eloquent, grandiloquent. This will be the economic warfare and isolation on an unprecedented scale. Their Navy's gone. Their Air Force is destroyed. Their military factories are now rubble. I blew them up better than anybody ever blew up anything. Their currency is worthless. Their country's hanging by a thread. Today, I'm announcing that any country that allows its financial institutions, businesses, airports, government entities to provide any type of lifeline to Iran will face tremendous economic consequences. Oil smuggling, swap lines, cash transfers, exchange houses, ship registries, front companies. It all needs to stop now. I'm young enough to remember George Carlin. Yeah, George Carlin was great, man. He was great. Very wise man. So he warned governments empathetic with the Iranian regime, which includes Qatar, China, Pakistan, and Russia, not to try and sneak through. You know who you are. This will be an economic D-Day. And we need all of our allies to stand with the United States of America to isolate and defeat the Iranian threat. These maniacs are on the ropes, and these historic measures will cripple them and their ability to protect terror worldwide. Protect terror worldwide. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Saw you were cooking the meats. Why don't you like that grill? I like my grill. I don't like the Blackstone that I have. I said I don't like the Blackstone because it's just a pain in the ass to clean. It's such a pain to clean. Okay. All right, Anton, need to run. Cheers, everyone. Glad you liked the food, Jim. I liked it. Thank you so much. I will be doing another ad for you on the once we get into hour 2. I'll try to do 2 every night for you. Love me some George Carlin. Learned 7 dirty words from him. Yeah, he's a good guy. Iran, their money is so far away, it couldn't get away. Yeah, good stuff. So Mohsen Razi, former head of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and new secretary of the Supreme National Council, previously suggested using nuclear weapons on America and continues to fantasize about Trump's death. Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khomeini, also known as the Ayatollah, periodically posts dire threats online against the great Satan. The regime is still striking the Strait of Hormuz and killing dissidents. The IRGC commander, Ahmad Vadi, bragged about this month that as long as the United States and Israel possess nuclear weapons, we will continue working on them for our national security. If they disarm, we will disarm. This guy's nuts. So they're basically, they're admitting it. They're saying they're working on nuclear weapons. So all these people saying, Iran wasn't working on a nuclear weapon. Iran wasn't working on a nuclear weapon. They're just saying they're doing it. Look at this. America first. Thank you. I hope others will join me in donating. I did so because I appreciate Jim. Well, I appreciate you. And thank you so much for the donation. With that, folks, that means we're now just $61 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. So additionally, Iran's regime has claimed to have plants and assassination teams right here in America. Recently, they declared it can launch an attack within America. Would it not be preferable for U.S. forces to destroy the mullahs first? I don't know if they're saying they're going to attack us here. Kind of sounds like we got to attack them there. Yes. Woo-hoo. Thank you. We should drop pallets of forged Iranian currency to further devalue theirs. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Look, Lisa Day comes in with 10. Thank you. Thank you so much. With that 10 from Lisa, that puts us at 51 away. Thank you so much from the first additional hour. So that right there, folks, means that we are almost halfway there. We're almost halfway there. Yes, thank you, Lisa. Yes. Iran executes a man during January protests. Iranian authorities have executed Shamram Saghedi, one of those arrested during the nationwide protests. Oh. Trump has certainly come to the conclusion that he cannot make deals with the Ayatollahs, which is very wise. It is. Dindu Legion. Oh, yeah. I see that. We'll get to that. Hey, Karen with a gifted membership. Thank you. So that means right there, we are now just $45 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much, Karen. And let's see who got it. It says that Jimmy 419 became a member of the Jim Somniacs. Thank you. Thanks to Karen. Thank you so much. What's up, Kofi? You doing the monkey dance? Thanks for holding it down over there on the kick. You're good. You're good. Okay. So same thing here. Trump threatens economic D-Day on Iran. So same. The Iranian prime minister or foreign minister blasts economic D-Day threat, saying, not going to happen. And it just so happens that while this is all going on, the George Washington just arrived on station in the Persian Gulf. So CENTCOM said on Thursday it confirmed that USS George Washington is deployed in the Middle East following the lengthy, overextended deployment of personnel on board the USS Abraham Lincoln, which sparked some crisis and media frenzy over poor conditions and lack of supplies, blah, 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 which I don't believe. Washington Carrier Strike Group is operating in the Middle East during scheduled deployment after arriving in CENTCOM theater yesterday. So it will now be part of the military frontline. It'll be the military's frontline carrier leading the mission in these regional waters. President Trump has issued a prior threat calling for economic D-Day against Iran. Tehran's military and military-industrial base is reduced to rubble, and they're going to keep pushing until the whole rotten corpse falls over, which is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
Well, President Trump promising unprecedented economic warfare on Iran. The country has been sanctioned for nearly 50 years, and now more may be coming.
We could sanction. We have very draconian sanctions, and we'll see what happens. Right now, the Strait is open. A lot of boats are coming through. People aren't reporting that, and that may slow down a little bit at some point. But right now, a lot of boats are coming through. The deal didn't turn out to be what they said. You know, when they tell us one thing and they do another. But the blockade has been 100% successful. No boats have gotten into Iran, but they are getting in for other places. But we'll see. We're going to see what happens. It'll either be extremely good and oil prices are going to drop like a rock, or we'll continue to do exactly what we're doing.
News Nation international correspondent Robert Sherman is live in Doha. So, Robert, the president isn't just threatening Iran now, he's threatening anyone who helps Iran as well.
Yeah, he's calling this economic D-Day, ratcheting up the economic pressure on Iran, not just directly through means such as the U.S. naval blockade, but also indirectly going after trade partners of Iran as well. This is a statement that he put out on this, saying any country that allows its financial institutions, businesses, airports, or government entities to provide any type of lifeline to Iran will itself face tremendous economic consequences. Oil smuggling, swap lines, cash transfers, exchange houses, ship registries, front companies. It all needs to stop now. You know who you are. This will be an economic D-Day, and we need all of our allies to stand with the United States of America to isolate and defeat the Iran threat. This is now the American strategy. Less focus on kinetic strikes. We have not seen any in recent days. The entirety of the focus on the U.S. naval blockade, stopping ships from going in or out of Iranian ports. Just this week, the UAE cut off trade with Iran. That is significant because it's a country with ports within the blockade that Iran can no longer trade with. As a result of all of this, you have Iran threatening retaliation, saying today, we are watching your every move. Any further mistake or miscalculation will carry consequences far greater than before. End your presence in the region immediately before it is too late and accept Iran's new regional order. Meanwhile, new photos released by Central Command today showing the USS George Washington transiting the Arabian Sea. It has officially entered the Central Command region of responsibility, expected to replace the USS Abraham Lincoln, indicating that U.S. firepower here in the region is here to stay and not going anywhere. Kelly?
Wow, it's not going anywhere. That's good news. Good news. So we'll see what happens. So, yeah, so economic warfare, Iran condemns the stuff, new carrier arrives. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Hopefully things will be one way or the other. They're gonna have to shit or get off the pot. That's the bottom line. Either gotta go or no go. You know, you gotta make a choice. You can't keep playing these games. You can't keep threatening to blow up bridges and power plants and then not doing it, because they just think then if you do that, well, this guy doesn't really care. That's what they that's what they think. That's what they think if you don't do it. So okay, on to the next story. A pastor unleashes on Dearborn as religious tensions erupt at the city council meeting. Enough is enough. The outbreak came amid a wave of anti-Islam protests targeting the Michigan City's Muslim community and its elected officials. Let's see here. We are not a nation of Muslims. It's a black pastor. He doesn't seem too happy about it.
But you're only 1% of this nation. We are not a nation of Muslims. We are a nation of Christians. We are one nation under God, indivisible, the God of the Bible, the God of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the God in whom we serve. I want you to prove to me we're not up under Sharia law. Will you denounce, Councilman O'Reilly? Will you denounce Sharia law? Will you denounce Sharia law? Will you I know you won't. Will you denounce Sharia law? Abraham, you went to Hillsdale. Will you renounce Sharia law? Will you renounce Sharia law? America, we have lost this city. This is a city that is no longer up under American laws. We are up under Sharia law, and we will not have it anymore. Enough is enough.
Yep, enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's time. It has to stop.
But
We are not a nation of Muslims. Yeah. What started as a regularly scheduled town hall meeting in Dearborn, Michigan. He's a linebacker. Yeah. Holy goalie. Yep. Say it, brother. Amen. Yes. Amen. Mm-hmm. So the regularly scheduled town hall meeting erupted into a flashpoint over the influence of Muslim culture, which, let's be honest, it's not about Muslim culture. It's about Sharia law. So America, we've lost this city. This city no longer up under American laws. We are up under Sharia law, and we will not have it anymore. Enough is enough. The outburst, which came amid a series of other anti-Islam protests in Dearborn, vocalizes fears that the Muslims are trying to take over. They're trying to conquer, which is their way. That's their whole purpose. It's in the Quran that they shall conquer and subjugate their whole world. So it's in there. They want to bring these communities more in line with their religious worldviews. These views are at odds with the majority of this country. The country needs to wake up. You need to wake up. Yep. Retarded, college-educated libs are giving our cities to Islam. That's what they're doing. Yeah. King Missile, holy. That's right. So this guy needs to run for office. Is he related to Thomas Sewell? No, it's Thomas Sowell. This is not Sowell. This is Sewell. Different guy. You're only 1% of this nation. We are not a nation of Muslims. Sewell's references the implementation of Sharia law don't refer to actual legislation looking to codify Muslim religious practices. Instead, they're based on what he sees as a form of favoritism applied unevenly to Muslims in the name of religious freedom, which is happening. They're doing it in massive two shitstorm. They're passing laws saying they're going to have like Muslim, to basically have people look at any new law they're going to pass to make sure it doesn't, offend Muslims. Minnesota, they're saying we have to have lending practices that are, aligned with with Sharia compliant lending practices. What? No, we don't. We don't need Sharia compliant lending practices. No. So other critics of Dearborn have pointed to the case in which a Muslim counter-protesters suffered inadequate consequences for assaulting Jake Lang. Yeah, these guys tried to kill him. One of them was an illegal alien who's already been convicted of murder and somehow still running around attacking people. Lang is no stranger to brushes with the Muslim community. He frames himself as a faith-based champion of American culture. In one video posted to X, Lang conducts baptisms while wearing military-style garb and a bulletproof chest plate, an outfit he dons a lot for his online content. Well, I mean, the fact is 90% of people who are Muslim that come here do not want to be Americans. That is a fact. So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to load up cruise ships with effing American guns and go to liberate Spain from the Muslim hordes. If the Democrats take power in 2028, I'll be at the southern border laying these animals down by the hundreds. Lang wrote, what? I'm confused now. What is his online opposition turned into real-world altercation earlier this month when Lang took his protest to the city's Arbaye March, the annual religious commemoration. So in one video, Lang takes a punch from behind while holding a sign saying, deport 100 million, save American. Muslim protesters chased Lang back to his car, and at least one hit him with a rock. They call them counter-protesters. They always call the people they like counter-protesters. Detroit Crime News just released video of 3 barbaric Muslims picking up large rocks to stone me to death for preaching the name of Jesus, Lang wrote. Oh. Hey, what's up, Marjorie? How you doing? Notably, the police did arrest one of the assailants and asked for help in identifying the others. Yeah, they need help identifying. I'm sure they do. One individual was arrested by Dearborn police and is currently held without bond as the Wayne County prosecutor determines charges. In Lang's view, and in the view of Sewell, it's not enough. Ahead of Tuesday's city council meeting, Lang, Sewell, and other demonstrators announced plans to protest the gathering, pressing for the city to do more to seriously evaluate Muslim influence and the influence of Sharia law. City officials have pushed back, saying that, no, we don't treat Muslims different. We just treat them, the way we want to because we like them. We don't treat the haram. This all ends in one big fight. Yeah, it does. When people portray Dearborn as some place has been overtaken, they aren't simply attacking our Muslim and Arab communities. They're also trying to erase our Christian brothers and sisters. Well, you guys have already done that. You've already erased them. I mean, the mayor, if I'm not mistaken, or is it the mayor of Dearborn or the mayor of Hamtramck or whatever that told the guy that he wants him out of there? I really don't agree with Lang's tactics. I don't agree with his tactics either, but he's got the right to do it. He's not breaking any laws, right? The fact the pastor needs a bulletproof jacket shows the religion of peace is extremely violent. Yep. Yeah, Dearborn mayor, this guy. I think it was this guy who told the one guy, I can't wait for you to be out of here. Was it Hamtramck? I know there was a mayor. There was a video of the mayor telling some guy that was saying, I just can't wait till you get out of this town. We get rid of you. Ultimately, they're attacking something much larger. They're attacking the idea that we can all belong to America at the same time. Well, you can't be in America. I mean, you can't belong to America if you hate America. You know, you hate America. You want everything about America to change. So a recent census showed that Middle Eastern or North African ancestry makes it the first American city that has 54.5% of its residents being Arab. That's crazy. Over half the city is Arab. Wow. That's insane. That is insane. And this is what happens. You know, far left radical Afghan Muslim wins California U.S. House special election to replace Eric Swalwell. Wow. Islam is on the march. State Senator Aisha Wahhabi. Oh, she's a Wahhabi. A radical far left Muslim won California's U.S. House District 14 in a special election to replace Eric Fartwell. Aisha Wahhabi defeated moderate Democrat Melissa Hernandez after the two advanced in the June 16th primary. The special election moved to a race between Wahhabi and Hernandez after neither women received the majority of votes. Wahhabi previously accused Israel of genocide and attacked pro-Israel AIPAC. AIPAC reportedly dumped millions of dollars into Hernandez's campaign. With more than 95% of the vote in, Wahhabi won 53% to Hernandez's 47%. Well, but here's the thing. This is California we're talking about. So it's going to take a month for them to finish counting the votes, ain't it? Don't they going to keep coming in more votes until they get what they want? I mean, that's how California rolls. According to the Constitution, we're supposed to have a Republican form of government. You look that up, all of it's based on Christian faith, not the Quran. That's true. We can practice any religion, but we should not be inviting people in here that have values and beliefs contrary to the founders of this nation. Bingo. Bingo. There you go. That's what I say. That's what I say. That's what I say. Sorry, I'm moving a couple tabs over. So it says, oh, nice hairdo. Oh. Democrat mouthpiece and radical communist Hasan Piker praised Ashi Wahhabi for her radical agenda. There you go.
This might make its way to Fox News, by the way. So just remember, rapid fire. Do you support Medicare for all?
Yes.
Raising taxes on billionaires?
Yes.
Breaking up corporate monopolies?
Yes.
Canceling student debt?
Yes.
A data center moratorium?
Yes.
Codifying abortion?
Yes.
Abolishing and prosecuting ICE?
Yes.
Banning congressional stock trading?
Yes.
Ending Citizens United?
Yes.
Ending America's permanent wars?
Yes.
Ending all U.S. aid to Israel?
Yes. But like I said, humanitarian aid is important to me too.
Okay. A free Palestine?
Yes.
All right. The reason why I say this is going to end up on Fox News is they still put this stuff out there, and it's like, it's usually very complimentary.
Yeah, no, it's not. You're an idiot. So Swalwell resigned in disgrace. Swalwell also dropped out of the governor's race. The FBI seized its devices, and now you have a Islamo-communist taking over his seat. All right, we talked the other day about the guy in the Chucky masks running around attacking people, in PA. And they identified the guy as Zamiri Hughes. He may have fled Pennsylvania. Go figure. So he fled the state and has ties to California, Nevada. A warrant is out for his arrest. So this guy. Philadelphia police have identified the suspect wanted for chasing down multiple people in the city in a Chucky doll mask. Telling one woman in the city area, "Are you ready to die?" The suspect's been identified as a 22-year-old Zamiri Hughes. Philly police say he may have fled the state, has ties to California, Nevada. A warrant's out for his arrest. Suspect entered a Dunkin' Donuts shortly after 5:28 wearing a distinctive Chucky Halloween-style mask. After leaving the restaurant, the suspect approached several people. Police say he appeared to be recording the encounters on his cell phone. So that's always great for these idiots to record their crimes. Like, hey, let me record the crime I'm committing. At one point, he said something to a man wearing a reflective vest and then pursued him. He's seen chasing a 40-year-old woman. He made threats while holding a hand behind his back, saying, "Are you ready to die?" The woman stumbled and sustained an injury. Police say the suspect could face charges including terroristic threats, harassment, assault, reckless endangerment. Smith also said they intend to pursue a weapons-related charge because their suspect reportedly kept his right hand behind his back while making the threat. I'm sure that the Soros DA in Philly is not going to do anything about it, though. Our laws and constitutional rights are based on Christian values. That's why we allow other religious practices. That's true. That's true. So, yeah, they know who he is. He fled the state. Got this crazy story. New York woman busted an ISIS-linked plot to bomb the state capitol after converting to Islam and cheering on the 9/11 attacks. Well, so the woman who cheered on the 9/11 attacks, just like good old Hasan Piker and the rest of the people, what do you know? They're out here plotting terror attacks. Seems nuts, doesn't it? A New York woman plotted to bomb the state capitol in Albany, transforming from a little girl waving the American flag to pledging allegiance to ISIS. Wow, I wonder what did that, and celebrating 9/11 terror attacks. Jessica Bowie from Albany began strategizing the attack in July and planned to place a bomb in a DoorDash food delivery bag, taking glee in the bloodshed it would cause, the feds wrote in a critical statement. Blowing Kafir's, non-Muslims' brains out is beautiful, she told someone who turned out to be an FBI informant. Oh, what do you know? It's a big, fat, ugly white woman. Go figure. She's seen purchasing nails at the hardware stores. She purchased bomb materials from a Home Depot on August 5th, planned the attack with the help of FBI informants for 2 weeks. Bowie, who converted to Islam 5 years ago and was going by the Islamic name Aisha Saif, also tracked the Capitol building for weeks, taking pictures from various vantage points, including the observation hall. Law enforcement had Bowie on their radar for 5 weeks leading up to her arrest and believed she was radicalized online. Yeah, the judge will deem the video evidence too prejudicial, not allow it. Just let the helicopter take care of it. That's what I say. That's what I say, Grizzly McThornbody. That's what I say. In a message, she said she wanted to target my state capital, ideally in a way to get away with and hop on a plane after, the complaint said. The ISIS-inspired militant planned to escape to Syria after the attack. Wow, that nose ring just says it all. Ugh. She allegedly messaged an informant on the 29th and said she wanted to destroy as much of the building as possible and kill the senators while they're meeting. I want them to lose a lot of important documents as well. Do I know what the term suicidal empathy means? Yeah. But this is just, that's not suicidal empathy. That's just being a disgusting fat body that doesn't have no point in life and just wants to do things. Like, that's gross. She even boasted to the informants that if she was successful, she would return to plan more attacks on U.S. soil and target New Year's Eve in Times Square. She would have preferred bombing the White House with the president in it, but she whined that it was an even harder job. Oh, well, maybe in the future we can go back. If I figure this is the biggest thing I can do, I can get to it easy, you know? A search of her social media revealed many fanatical, pro-radical Islamist, anti-American posts in the weeks leading up to the attacks. Well, I guess she probably thought that with that giant tent basically on her that no one would be able to know who she is. We are enjoying ribeyes that we need tonight and Normandy blend. There you go. There you go. It's unclear which platform she had accounts on, though they were often suspended for violating terms of use. An account leaked to Bowie said on May 28th, praise be to Allah for September 11th. On May 8th, another account believed to be Bowie said in Arabic, I will poison these infidels. Well, she's just a severely broken toy looking for a home. Yeah. The DoorDash bag intended to hold the explosives. So she also discussed her belief that jihad is an obligation and recorded herself reciting the Pledge of Allegiance to ISIS. The FBI informants met Bowie Wednesday and gave her an inert explosive device and an inert handgun, along with instructions on how to detonate the bomb. During the meeting, Bowie chillingly admitted that she went from being a little girl waving an American flag after 9/11 to now having stickers of the falling towers. Like, that you made. That's awesome. FYI, I didn't even see what you said, so obviously I was not responding or questioning religious practices. Oh. Let that sink in, folks. Miss Bowie just wanted to kill lawmakers. Didn't just want to kill lawmakers. She wanted the complete destruction of our government. That's basically, don't you guys realize was she a member of the DSA by any chance? Because that's what these DSA commies want. They want a revolution. They want the whole government to go down. That's what they want. Like, you look at this brother is in Germany, what it is in Germany, he did a great thing. But only one person died when he rammed into the crowd. So there's the bomb, inert bomb. Probably is DSA. I would 100% bet, if I had a wager on it, I would wager, I'd put 10 grand on it that she's DSA. Or some other, like Armed Queers of Salt Lake City or something like that. Some other group of, radical leftists, definitely. Definitely. Sick, indoctrinated people. Totally. It's crazy. So there's no helping me. You guys know enough. There's no helping me. I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. Material support is 20 years. I already Googled it. I know I'm going to jail. Her ethnicity is unclear, but she is believed to be a U.S. citizen. Photos of Bowie at Central Park in 2014, 7 years before she converted and became a fanatic, show a different woman, snap-smelling flowers and covered in tattoos. Just last month, another radicalized upstate New Yorker, Catherine Bell Washburn, was charged with supporting an Islamic terrorist organization after donating $30,000 in crypto to Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Wow. Governor Kathy Hochul thanked the FBI. Earlier this year, amid a rise in political violence and threats against public officials, we took steps to strengthen the security at the state capitol, she said. While there is no immediate threat at this time, we will continue to work closely with law enforcement. So, yeah. So Kathy Hochul is make burqas illegal. That's the thing. Kathy Hochul's happy because, it is what it is. This is a crazy story. You guys remember that guy, the plagiarist they were touting the DEI guy at Cambridge, the youngest black professor at Cambridge that they found out was a, plagiarist. Well, now they're going after the guy who exposed the plagiarist. U.S. academic who exposed plagiarist Jason Arday is suspended after Arday commits suicide. So somehow it's this guy's fault because he exposed the plagiarism. So now you can't say anything about plagiarism because they might kill themselves. And if they kill themselves, you're the bad guy. Yeah, academia is full of cuck bastards. It is. It's crazy. I wonder if it's because he's white and he's black. American academic Nathan Kopnis has been suspended by Belgium's Ghent University after he exposed the explosive plagiarism allegations against late Cambridge professor Jason Arday. Yeah, peer-reviewed means nothing nowadays. No, it doesn't. I was just suspended by Ghent, will almost certainly fire me. The decision was made by the rector, Petre de Sutter, a former leader of the Green Party. Oh, so this is political. Hours earlier, he said the university was investigating him for discriminating against Arday. So it's discriminating. Yeah, you expose this guy, all right? And so you're discriminating by exposing it. Jim reads everything. I don't read everything. I read a lot of it. So he's under investigation for exposing it. Ghent University confirmed that he's been suspended as a precautionary measure. Just precautionary measure. We don't want anyone to think that we were responsible. However, the university refused to reveal the specific reason for the suspension. The convenient silence raises an obvious question. Is Ghent investigating genuine misconduct or punishing an academic for exposing politically inconvenient allegations involving one of the global DEI establishment's most celebrated figures? Nathan has been doxxed by the university. Yeah, it sure sounds like it. Kopnis published a detailed Substack investigation on July 21st after being contacted by a source inside Cambridge. His report presented evidence suggesting portions of Arday's doctoral thesis resembled previously published academic work. I mean, it happened to the head of Harvard, remember? The head of Harvard got fired because her last name was Gay, I believe. She was a plagiarist. You can't keep up with Jim in the chat? Well, I try. Questions concerning Arday's scholarship did not originate with Kopnis. Other academics raised concerns before he brought the controversy into the public spotlight. Retraction Watch reported earlier news examining the allegations was abandoned after Arday hired a prominent defamation law firm. Oh, yeah, corrupt works. You ain't kidding. Hey, not that Karen, what's up? Finally getting a little relief from the migraine. Oh, whenever I have a migraine, I have to take I take 3 or 4 Advil and one Norco, and that works. However, Cambridge later announced a new investigation after receiving additional information concerning the academic qualifications and honorary appointments. The university also acknowledged that separate complaints involved alleged academic misconduct remained under review. Arday resigned from Cambridge within hours of the new investigation being announced, so he knew that the jig was up, as they say. The 41-year-old former professor was found unresponsive at a property at Battersea, South London, on August 14th. Police pronounced him dead at the scene. Yeah, Joe Biden did as well. There you go. Yes. Authorities said his death was unexpected, but was not treated as suspicious. A file is being prepared by the coroner. Despite widespread online speculation, official cause of death has not been publicly established. Arday's family said he had endured sustained abuse, misinformation, and harassment, and asked the media to leave his family alone. Oh, okay. Yes. Yes, you're harassing us by pointing out we're lying. Kopnis has faced controversy of his own. Cambridge Emmanuel College ended its association with him in 2024 following complaints about writings addressing race, intelligence, and meritocracy. Oh, so he was a noticer. So he noticed things and talked about patterns. And for that, they don't like him. Kopnis denies he's a racist, remains engaged in a legal dispute with the college. He said, hey, you're pointing out statistics and patterns, and that's racist. Facts are racist. Those controversies do not erase the academic integrity question that Kopnis and other scholars raised. If his evidence was wrong, universities could have challenged it openly. If he violated a workplace rule, Ghent should identify the rule and present the evidence through a fair process. Instead, the public is being told that the whistleblower has been suspended while the university hides behind confidentiality. You might have to try something like what? Oh, okay, what I said. Never mind. So the Gateway Pundit previously reported on Arday's death following a plagiarism controversy. The institutional DEI failure surrounding his rise and fall, and Ibram X. Kendi's claim that the media had lynched him. Ibram X. Kendi, another guy who should not be taken seriously at all. Activists are now pushing Arday's law that would impose restrictions on how extensively news organizations may report about one individual, an alarming proposal that critics warn could be used to suppress legitimate investigative journalism. Yes. So they don't want you to be able to report on a person. So you can't say anything about somebody. When did facts become racist? When they don't like the facts. That's when. Well, he hasn't been fired, just suspended. Well, he's suspended, but I guess they're saying that they're following the procedures to fire him. Now the academic who helped bring the allegations into public view is facing punishment of his own. This is just crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff. You can't never win. You can't never win. So I don't know if you guys seen this stuff, the cheering for Lindsay Clancy, like this woman who killed her 3 kids. Like, I can understand maybe she was suffering from postpartum. Maybe she was on drugs that made her mind all fucked up. And maybe she didn't, maybe she, was temporarily insane or whatever you want to call it. But you shouldn't be cheering for the person who killed 3 kids. I'm sorry. This is just like we're going to get to the Karmelo stuff. The people cheering for Karmelo. Like, that's not the way you're supposed to do these things at all. So supporters who cheered for Lindsay Clancy as she arrives in the courtroom on Thursday, they're satanic. This is like, compare this to this public response to Susan Smith's murder of her 2 children in the 90s. Clancy's been charged with killing her 3 children. Candace is calling her innocent. I know Candace was blaming the husband. I don't even get that. I think those are Candace people that are cheering for Lindsay. Yeah, Candace Owens said that she thinks her husband did it. Candace Owens. Yes, Candace. I regret to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that was feminists, a crowd of feminists up in Massachusetts cheering and applauding. You can't make peace with evil.
I regret to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that was feminists, a crowd of feminists up in Massachusetts cheering and applauding for Lindsay Clancy as she arrived at court today. They weren't praying for her. They weren't singing songs. No, they were cheering and applauding for this woman who has admitted, and be clear about this, it seems like some people are confused. She has admitted to strangling all 3 of her children to death in their basement with a rope, one by one. And these feminists are cheering for her. They're cheering for her. Does she need help? Was she on drugs? Was she on big pharma? I think those are serious questions. But the reaction of these feminists with their pink shirts, the same ones that support abortion on demand in that very state of Massachusetts, up until the point of birth. Folks, when we see the demonic in our midst, when we see evil, we have to call it out. We cannot make peace with this. You have to stop it.
I agree, Jack. True crime show should be banned. Women have been
When
brainwashed.
we look at the outpouring of, again, praise, celebration, there's only one word for it. It is satanic to cheer someone who murdered their children.
Here's the thing, too. Pat says, at the very least, she should be sterilized and not allowed near children. Here's the thing. She is paralyzed. She's paralyzed from the neck down, as far as I know. She can't walk. She can't do anything. So it's not like she's going to be able to hurt anybody else. So maybe instead of putting her in a prison or somewhere where she's going to have to be, like, she can't even be in a regular prison because she's paralyzed. She'd have to be in some kind of medical hospital where taxpayers are going to be paying for it. Maybe they should just put her in like a house arrest or something, because I don't know. That way the government's not paying for it. I'm trying to say, like, if they can't put her to death because, let's say, maybe because she was under drugs or whatever, maybe she should be somewhere where it's not costing, $50,000 a year or more, $100,000 a year to have doctors treat her and everything supporting her. I don't know. Well, I somewhat blame Andrea Yates' husband because he knew better than to leave her alone with the kids, but Clancy sent him away purposely to do this. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if she's paralyzed from the neck down, maybe putting her in prison where it's going to cost us basically like doctors and all this stuff, paying for it. Maybe go like, hey, well, let her go to a private institution and let her insurance or her family pay for it. I think they got money. Try to imagine the reaction if men lined up the street to support a man that killed his whole family when his wife was threatening to leave him. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Imagine that. Are they happy that she killed her 3 kids? Well, clearly these are women that want to kill more babies. They probably just consider this a late-term abortion. They're Moloch worshipers. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like she had a history of being on drugs and was under doctor's care, but it was not helping, and she was telling them it wasn't helping. No, I know. I'm not attacking. I'm like torn here. Like the drugs are horrible drugs. The drugs that they put her on, the different drugs and the cocktail, like I personally think anybody that's on those drugs probably should be being monitored. Like, doc, you should have to be inpatient maybe. Those things are, all those SSRIs and different things, they fuck people up. Yeah, maids combined with the abortion up to birth, they really want to end the human population. They do. They do. It's crazy.
And look, I'm even the type of person, and I've said this many times, as a person who believes in the Bible, I do believe in demonic possession. I really do. But you don't cheer and celebrate that which was done by a demon. I want to go back to the 1990s, similar case. Mother who killed her own children. She strapped them into their seatbelts, drove the car into a lake. She herself got out of the car. Her name was Susan Smith.
Yeah, definitely. If they were protesting the drug companies, I would support the protesters. Yeah. Calling it late-term abortion, that would be funnier if it wasn't so serious. No, I'm not. I'm saying they probably, these people, they don't care. You bet 90% of Canada's audience are all leftists. Yeah, no, they are definitely. What's up, Hamburger Helper? Like Andrea Waits was supposed to be. Yeah. They cause murder and suicidal thoughts. Yeah, these pills are horrible pills, man. This is why repeal the 19th isn't a joke anymore. Yeah, the pink represents women's abortion rights. Yes, it does. That's the thing. Code pink, all this stuff is all about women's abortion rights. How long until we're living the movie Children of Men? You staying on for a bit? You got a raid? Yeah, I'm staying on for a bit. Still, I got at least an hour. We're 45 away from adding another hour. Speaking of which, yeah, late-term abortions. That's the pink represents late-term abortion. Speaking of which, if you guys haven't seen the video, check out the video that I made of me cooking some of the fine meat that was sent to me by Anton of the Biltong USA, King of Biltong. You could go over to his website, www.biltongusa.com, and you can buy all the stuff that I cooked along with other types of biltong, peri-peri, ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper, drawers, cabanasi, all types of other cakes, candies, snacks, and cookies, and other things from around the world shipped right to your door. So he's a good guy, great family man, running a great American business. Everything is made in the USA, 100% in Texas, put together for you. So head on over there. Tell him Jim sent you by using promo code Jim to save 10%. The 8-ounce bags make excellent gifts. www.biltongusa.com. Great people. And check out the video I posted on both YouTube and Rumble. There's a video, it's like 5 minute long, of the stuff that he sent me. It's good stuff. I think so.
Let's play how people reacted to that.
I mean, it's terrible to take 2 innocent little baby's life. They don't even know what the world is about. They don't even know the beginning of school. They don't know nothing. And I feel she don't deserve the death. She deserves the same thing that she did to those people.
It's sad. I mean, they don't sense in it. She can't be wrong knowing they cold and all the time knowing that they're in the bottom of this lake. There's no excuse. I would never forgive her for that.
There you go. 30 years ago, how did people react? They reacted like normal people would to a mother killing their kids. She was up for parole, Susan Smith. By the way, 3 years old and 1 year old. She was up for parole in 2024. Her ex-husband came out, spoke for the first time, and said never let her out because she's never been remorseful for what she did to their children.
Never been remorseful. That's crazy. Yeah. She arrived at court today. They weren't praying. They weren't singing songs. They were cheering and applauding for the woman who had admitted to killing her kids. They were cheering for her. Watch outside the courthouse as Lindsey Crancy waves a Mexican flag. Our supporters are waving Mexican flags. So these aren't just people. These are the same people that protest everything.
Does anyone have a message for Lindsay?
We support you, Lindsay. We are all here for you, and we hope for a change.
What would be your message to the people that say she murdered her children?
I think there's more to this story that people don't understand. If you watch the trial, you'll see that. And I think we all need to educate ourselves in postpartum. I certainly have been educating myself, and my heart goes to her, and I just hope for the very best for her.
That is literally insane, literally crazy. I remember the story of Susan Smith. Yeah, Susan Smith, she tried to say somebody took her car. To me, if you kill your kids before they're born, that's the difference if you kill them after. What's the difference if you kill them after you're born? Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's how I think that's, remember, what was his name? Ralph Northam, who said that if a baby was born and he had some kind of defect, that they would have the baby born and they would sit the baby there and then they would discuss with the doctor what to do about the baby. Like that they would kill a baby after it was born, after birth. They talked about openly. He said, well, what they decide, let the doctor and the family decide what to do. What? Yeah, white, middle-aged, liberal women are batshit crazy. What's up, Fort Oxy Mom? They need to blame someone other than Lindsay. I watched every minute of testimony. She never followed through long enough on any treatment. Well, that's what I was reading too, like that she never actually did what she was supposed to do. She just kept started something and didn't actually take the correct dosage and stuff like that. So I don't know. My lawnmower said Viva La Mexico right in front of me in the yard today. I got his license plate. Yeah, BS, definitely. She blamed a black man. Yeah. Hey, Bill Dozer has raided the stream. What's up, Bill? Great. Thank you so much for the raid. Yar! Electric chair. Yes. White liberal women are the cause of most of the problems in the country. Without their votes, the Dems couldn't survive. That's true. The Hart family murders was another horrific tragedy, driving her children off a cliff into a lake. I don't think there had to be anything wrong with the baby. They would discuss with the mother and the doctor what they wanted to do with it. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Blackface Governor Northam, communist Virginia. Yeah. This is crazy. So a crowd of female protesters gathered and they applauded the defense attorney.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't the husband also? I mean, if the husband, this is the thing, I don't know. What does the husband say? Like, if I was the husband, I don't know how I could look myself in the mirror that I knew that my wife was having these thoughts about hurting my kids, and then I just left her alone with them. Like, what the fuck, man? I would have never left her alone. If it was my wife and she's telling me these things about she's having these thoughts, she would have never been left alone with the kids. Never. I would have had somebody with her all the time. Get a nanny, get someone in the house if you can't be there. Yeah, former governor, Ralph Northam. Yeah. May they all rot in hell. That's how I think. I think these people, all of them, every one of these people out here, I dare ye raiders to say stuff in the chat. Jim might read ye post, mateys. Yes, I might. So there you go. 30 years ago, how would people react? They reacted like normal people. What's the difference? Social media. Social media has changed everything. I don't know if it's social media. I don't know if it could be maybe oops. I don't know if it could be maybe damn it. I hit the wrong button. Boo-hoo, not all women are crazy. No, I know. Not all women are crazy. I didn't say all women are crazy. I was thinking that too. Yeah. Why would you leave her alone with the kids? Yeah, why? I would have taken the kids and had her committed. That's what I'm saying. At this point, I say reopen the inhumane insane asylums. I say you open insane asylums, just make them humane. There's no reason they have to be inhumane. You know, they don't have to be inhumane. You can make them humane. There we go. So progressive women and beta males will be the death of us. Yeah. Mass doesn't have DP. If found not criminally responsible, she would be committed to a state mental health facility. If found legally responsible, she'd be sentenced to a secure forensic state psychiatric hospital, potentially Tewksbury or more restricted Bridgewater. Yes, communists. Yep, communists. Communists and communism is what changed. Yeah. I was left alone with my 2 kids. My ex left when the younger one was 2 years old. I raised them well, remarried to a better man. Well, congrats. Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Enough of them are insane these days out of the month that we should repeal the 19th. Okay. So Mickey Sherrill. Oh, remember that? She said she was a moderate, Mickey Sherrill. So shields abortion providers and sex change doctors from out-of-state investigations. A person who physically attempts to prevent someone from entering a clinic or medical office could face 18 months in prison or a $10,000 fine. So New Jersey governor signed legislation Thursday creating new criminal penalties for people who interfere with patients seeking abortions or sex change procedures, while also shielding New Jersey providers from legal actions by other states. You don't say. The law creates a new offense called interference with reproductive health care services, which includes sex change services. A person who physically attempts to prevent someone from entering a clinic could face 18 months and a $10,000 fine. I think there's already a federal law about this. You know, the bill also prevents state agencies and courts from assisting out-of-state investigations targeting abortions or sex changes in the state, blocking New Jersey officials from taking such actions, such as arresting someone or issuing subpoenas or search warrants based on out-of-state investigations. This kind of sounds like maybe they don't think they're part of the United States anymore. I mean, what's going on here? New Jersey Right to Life executive said, because terms such as threat, intimidate, or coerce are inherently subjective and rest on individual feelings, this language poses a serious danger to free speech. Peaceful sidewalk counseling, prayer, holding signs, or simply offering help and alternatives can be easily labeled as intimidation by someone who claims to feel threatened, leaving pro-life advocates open to criminal charges that are difficult to disprove and chilling constitutionally protected expression. New Jersey has seen more patients travel from other states for abortions following the 2022 Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. 13 states have since created total or near abortion bans. Abortion and trans advocates welcome the legislation. So, co-founder of the Trans Rights Coalition of Jersey, who has a trans child, so it's the mother is the problem, said the law would provide additional protection. My fellow providers, my patients, and my family can breathe a little easier. Who has a child she claims is trans and is co-founder of the Trans Rights Coalition. Oh, so it's a doctor who has a trans kid who wants to get more money from transing other kids. The measure's drawn criticisms from anti-abortion advocates who say its language could criminalize peaceful protests. So Tazzy said the law could leave protesters open to criminal charges that are difficult to disprove. So this is a breaking story. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. I would think maybe it's possible. Maybe the DOJ Civil Rights Division might go after Jersey and say, hey, you can't go after people for protesting like this. I would really like to see the DOJ go after Minnesota for going after Shiloh Hendricks. So check this out. James O'Keefe was offered Senator Lisa Murkowski's brother's ballot at an Anchorage polling station with no ID required. So many young adults today cannot handle life at all because everybody getting a trophy. Nobody told them they're going to be held accountable. American First says, I will bet basically none of these women have ever been married. Well, I would say if they haven't been married, they either haven't been married or they're divorced, and they're angry, bitter. I don't know. There's women for some reason that think it's just great that, like they talk. Remember that one woman who's like, I had 13 abortions, that lady. Like, what are you doing? So James O'Keefe on Thursday released an undercover video from Anchorage, Alaska, showing a poll worker offering him Lisa Murkowski's brother's ballot. Recall that Rhino Murkowski was one of the senators who opposed the SAVE Act. The Anchorage poll worker also offered Lisa Murkowski's state director's Karina Waller's ballot without an ID. I did not check in as Brian Murkowski cast a ballot or signed his name. We documented what happened when I gave his name, said I had no idea, and asked whether Brian could still vote. Would it be possible to vote without ID? Absolutely possible.
This is James O'Keefe in Anchorage, Alaska. I'm about to get offered Senator Lisa Murkowski's brother's ballot.
Oh, good.
I said,
I mean, all I got to do is do possible to vote without it. KOWSKI. I think I left my wallet in the vehicle. Would it be possible to vote without it?
absolutely possible.
Oh, good.
I said, I could vote. Brian Murkowski could vote. She's like, yes, you can vote.
You can vote if you'd like to. Do you want to do a question ballot?
I mean, all I got to do is do the question ballot, then I can vote.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Brian Murkowski, Senator Murkowski's brother, doesn't even live in Alaska, but his name is still on the voter rolls.
Do you know how to spell Brian?
BRIAN.
Yeah,
That's the address.
In the correct place.
Oh, perfect.
Wait, so he doesn't live in Alaska. He lives in Texas, but yet he's still on the voter rolls in Alaska. Wow. I would be very interested to know if he votes. There should be investigations and all this. How is he still on the voter rolls? How is it possible? O'Keefe's wardrobe disguise guy deserves a raise. Yeah. Hey, everybody, I just want to point out, I hate doing this. We've been going for an hour and 36 minutes. There's still over 200 people watching in total, 177 on YouTube, 30 on X, 1 on Twitch, and I don't know how many on Rumble. Let's see, on Rumble we have 40 people watching on Rumble, but we got about maybe 45 minutes left of show if we don't hit the goal, and we are $45 away from hitting the goal. So if you guys want another hour of show, we're $45 away from adding another hour. So, I know the goal is going to say it expires in 24 minutes on YouTube, but I keep, as long as the show is still going, and if the money comes in, I extend it. So Alaska had 2 Democrats for governor. Bye-bye, Alaska. Yeah. Social media has exposed the crazies and given them a place to congregate together. It sure has.
You have a mugshot.
Oh, I think I left that at home. Blood?
DNA.
I got blood. Yeah.
You got blood. You want to leave your blood?
You're Caroline. Carolyn. Carolyn's a funny one, by the way.
So that's what happened. So
trying to figure things out in life, right? Yeah. Brian Murkowski always does the right thing.
Wow. So that's crazy, right?
We can get offered Karina Waller's ballot. That's Senator Lisa Murkowski's own state director, which she just hired.
I don't like the music. Well, let's see.
To see if we can get on.
Please?
Yeah.
To see your ID? Please?
Gosh, I forgot it. I left it.
Okay, we can do a question ballot, or you can go home and get it.
A question ballot is issued when a voter cannot provide a sufficient form of ID. It is still a voting ballot that is submitted but may face further review. According to Title 15 of the Alaska statutes, a voter who casts a question ballot shall vote the ballot in the same manner as prescribed for other voters.
We can do a question ballot.
Okay.
Can you just make sure that all of it is there?
You won't be signed. Oh, okay. Karina Waller? Yeah, you're in the right spot.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Okay. So this is like one of those things, So Murkowski called for O'Keefe to be prosecuted. Murkowski consistently supported the requirement of voter ID. No, she didn't. She voted against it. The SAVE Act is overly burdensome. In any case, voter impersonation is a crime and should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Oh, so they don't want you to know, Senator Murkowski is consistently supported. This is her statement. So if they want him prosecuted. So Murkowski's calling for O'Keefe to be prosecuted. That's crazy. Minnesota Secretary of State suggested O'Keefe and others should be prosecuted for exposing the state's insane vouching system. So he didn't vote. He didn't sign anything. He just went in and recorded stuff. See, I don't know. I'm surprised. Yeah. They'll just flip it. Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll flip the vote. All right. This is crazy. This next story, this is just nuts. So I hope O'Keefe has a good lawyer. If O'Keefe had actually voted in someone else's name, then he would have committed a crime. Yeah, if he would have actually voted, then he would have committed a crime. Why would he need to be prosecuted? He was not outside the law. I don't think he was outside the law. He didn't actually sign anything. He didn't do any, if he didn't, as long as he didn't sign anything, he didn't fill anything out, then he didn't commit any fraud. Just going in and saying something and then going, oh, never mind, I'm not that person, I'm leaving. I just wanted to see if I could do it. Whatever happened to Sarah Palin? Why isn't she running? I have no idea. Remember, poll workers are volunteers and are usually retired folks. Yeah, they usually are. The Democrats have a pattern, though, if they get people to go do it, they have union people go in and do it and stuff like that. So what fraud did he commit? He didn't commit any fraud. If he signs a piece of paper claiming to be that person, that would be fraud. If he did any of the things, like any of the actual actions to actually vote, then I heard that Musk will pay legal fees if people are prosecuted for exposing voter fraud. Well, I hope so. So I'm saying, yeah, First Amendment. That's what I'm saying. As long as he didn't do any, like sign any papers pretending to be the person, then he didn't commit a crime. If he just went in there and videotaped it and stuff, I'm guessing O'Keefe welcomes any investigations into his voting shenanigans, bring lights into it. Yeah, I hope so. So check this out. A teenager was murdered in a 100,000-pound testicle trafficking scheme. Now, I saw this, and at first I was like, 100,000-pound testicle? That's a huge testicle. I was like, oh, no, it's 100,000 British pounds. So it's money, not weight. But investigators say the group had reportedly been influenced on social media, claiming human testicles could command a high price overseas. They said we get paid to be poll workers in Florida. I didn't hear that. Alex Tuckerson, great to have you here. Captain, good to see you too. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. A 17-year-old street vendor was murdered by a group in central India as part of a plan to remove and sell his testicles on the black market for nearly 100,000 pounds. Police in Bhopal, wasn't there, you guys remember Bhopal? There was a massive explosion at a pesticide factory in Bhopal that killed like tons of people. It was a big scandal. It was like either, what was it like, what company was it? I can't remember the company. It was some big chemical plant blew up there. Murkowski can go suck a bucket of frozen spotted salmon. There you go, Dick. You carry yours around in a wheelbarrow too. There you go. What are they doing with them? Eating them? I don't know. Black market testicles. Yeah. So police in Bhopal arrested 2 suspects, detained 3 minors in connection with the killing. Wow. What did they kill? Was it because did they die when they were trying to take the testicles off? Investigators say the group had reportedly been influenced by social media video claiming testicles command a high price overseas. The victim, identified as Rahan, sold pens and keychains near Iqbal Maidan in Bhopal. Police say 2 minors approached him at his stall and offered him 100 rupees to help settle a fight near Katlapur on the lower lake. The pair allegedly persuaded him to follow them to a secluded location where he was attacked from behind and stabbed repeatedly. Bhopal's deputy commissioner of police say 4 members of the group were directly involved in the killing, while alleged ringleader Zoheb Khan guided them remotely through a video call. Khan and 18-year-old Ayamir Kasherish was arrested. A lot, and this is the thing, it was Union Carbide India Limited, a DuPont subsidiary. Yes, do not redeem. You can't transplant testicles, can you? I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand this. Like, this whole thing seems weird to me. Which country has more Muslims, India or Egypt? No cheating. India. I don't even have to. Rumble comment quality greater than U-turn. I think so. So police allege Khan recruited the group and claimed to have medical knowledge that would allow them to remove the organs. He purchased a white apron, a stethoscope, and a thermometer and used the items while allegedly training others. Khan! After the killing, they said the group removed his testicles and kept them on ice for 2 days while trying to find a buyer. They allegedly believe the organs could be sold for about 12 million rupees, nearly 100,000 pounds or $136,000. How many of these people are coming here on H-1Bs? Lorena Bobbitt flashbacks, yeah. When no buyer was found, Khan allegedly instructed the group to dispose of the testicles in 2 separate lakes. His body was recovered from Lower Lake near Dobie Ghat. Police identified him 5 days later using a tattoo after his mother reported him missing. A post-mortem found that he had suffered fatal injuries and that his testicles had been removed. It's an internet hoax. There is no market. They probably eat them. Who wants to buy them? I don't know. Police have recovered a knife believed to have been used in the killing and deployed specialist divers to search the lake for the missing organs. Their investigation remains ongoing. So this is just a crazy story. They're chopping off people's nuts in India. All right. On to the Karmelo Anthony story. Here we go. New trial hearing bombshell. Karmelo Anthony's ex reported him for stalking an hour before he stabbed Austin Metcalf to death. So he was a stalker. Texts show him fantasizing about stabbing someone and licking the blood from the blade. They fell for an internet scheme. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? That the call center scammers fell for an internet call scam. I wonder if they all worked at a call center trying to scam people out of their money. Okay, I don't know. That must be for somebody else. It's always the same map. Yes, it is, as Bronca says. The fish ate them. Yeah. They could have sold a lot of different organs. Also, it may just be a hoax. Yeah. So that's his girlfriend. So new evidence had been revealed during the hearing for Karmelo Anthony's motion for a new trial. Collin County Prosecutor Bill Werski detailed how the convicted murderer had been reported for stalking his ex-girlfriend, just before he fatally stabbed Austin Metcalf. She had broken up with him because he was being violent. Yep. That was all kept out of the trial. I guess it's going to come in now. I was just thinking all those brilliant call center folks. Yeah. If you mail them, it's hand cancel only. That's right. God, diving for testes. That's right. The prosecutor told the court that Anthony's girlfriend, Valeria Perez, went to school officials that very morning and reported that she'd broken up with him and that he was stalking her. Roughly an hour later, Metcalf was stabbed to death under the Memorial High School tent. He died in his twin brother's arms. Text messages recovered that morning show him writing, "I'm low-key on a verge." A statement Werski emphasized as evidence that he was looking for trouble. The prosecutor further revealed that Anthony had a history of violence, had previously been taken by his parents to a special program at LSU for children who could not keep their hands to themselves, and was obsessed with starting fights. Most chillingly, Werski shared a text in which Anthony fantasized about stabbing someone and then licking the blood off the blade, adding that Anthony wanted to stab someone. There's a whole channel somewhere online of good hackers reverse hacking Indians. Basic IT stuff and a little social manipulation. Yeah, it's funny. I watch those. So Marianne Martinez says Carmelo's girlfriend went to the school and told him that she'd broken up with him and he was stalking her. An hour later, Austin Metcalf was dead. The details were part of a 404 motion the state had prepared regarding character and prior acts, which its defense had sought to keep out of the original trial. Strangely, Perez publicly launched an official fan page on Instagram supporting her killer boyfriend while calling him her sweet boy after the verdict was announced. Oh, so she's just trying to grift. A lot of people have asked why Karmelo took a knife to a track meet. Those reasons were captured in our 404 motion. On the morning, let's see. On the morning that Karmelo stabbed Austin, the girlfriend went to the assistant principal saying she broke up with Karmelo and he was stalking her. A text then shown from Anthony saying, I'm on a low-key verge. He also threatened her with a knife in one message and told her in another text, when I stab somebody, I'm going to lick the blood off the blade. I warned a long time ago that I didn't want to open up Karmelo's history, but this is what you push for. And I know from my multiple sources that there's so much more behavior and texts on his phone that go back years. Oh, you don't say he's not a didn't do nothing good boy? He fantasized about stabbing someone and licking the blood off the blade before he murdered Austin Metcalf. Oh. Oh, I thought I was sharing. I thought I was sharing this stuff. Sorry. I was not sharing it. If you don't want to stab someone, you always carry a knife. Yeah. He's probably hoping people were his money for her. Yeah. So before trial, Perez had maintained a relatively low public profile. She stepped into the spotlight by sharing public support and launching the fan page. Anthony was convicted of murder in June and sentenced to 35 years after the jury rejected his self-defense argument. I thought he was a nice boy. That's what she's saying. Yeah, he was stalking her, threatened her with a knife, but now he's a nice boy because money, money, money. She's going to raise money. I mean, come on. It's all about money. Witnesses testified he refused repeated requests to leave, reached in his bag and said, touch me and see what happens. He didn't do nothing. He has this a whole box of Aunt Jemima's didn't do nothing muffins. After the verdict, Anthony's new pro bono appellate attorneys filed for a new trial and successfully sought Judge Roach's recusal based on the judge's post-trial comments that the jury got it right. Meanwhile, CBS reported on the victim's juvenile pranks, called it racist. Yeah. So the newly revealed information further undermines any ridiculous self-defense claims. Anthony was clearly out looking for a confrontation. These are the same, just like the people, all right, just like the people we saw for Lindsey Clancy, got the same people out here talking about, Karmelo. The new Black Panther Party chairman is saying, Black power, it's about GD time. Why does this woman, not really look black? I mean, she's very light-skinned. The new Black Panther Party national chairman, Crystal Muhammad, celebrated removal of the judge. Black power is about GD time. That's the first step. Now we need Karmelo to be released. If you want to get rich, start a podcast. No, that's not going to work. I'm voice commenting. It keeps missing words. No problem. So here she is. Ready?
The new Black Panther Party. And we're going to get their view on today's recusal of the judge.
Oh, Black Power, yeah. Well, it's about goddamn time. All power to the people. That's the first step. Now we need for Karmelo to be released. All of the racist acts that took place under Judge Roach, from them not letting people come into the courthouse when it's supposed to be a public hearing, from them not giving the jury instructions on self-defense, so Karmelo would have never got a murder case in the first place. He would have had the jury would have had the option of manslaughter. From the racism. Everything is racism. So Muhammad was reacting to visiting Judge Sid Harrell's decision to remove District Judge John Roach from Anthony's post-trial proceedings. Roach presided over the murder trial, later told a reporter that the jury got it right. My comment was directed to you. I know, but I'm saying it's not true. It's not true at all. It's not true at all. Believe me. I don't even make minimum wage doing this. That's a fact. She needs surgery. Yeah, she needs something. Her bra is the hardest working thing in her household. Oh, man. Aunt Watermelons be telling y'all whiteys and shit. She got two heads on her chest. Yeah, that's right. It's an oddly shaped person. It is. So who is Crystal Muhammad? According to their own biography, Muhammad joined the Black Panther Party in 2002, previously led the Houston chapter, served as national chairwoman since 2013. The new Black Panther Party is not connected with the original Black Panther Party. Police body cam footage captured Anthony admitting to stabbing immediately after they arrived. I'm not alleged I did it. It's also reported the new Black Panther Party members gathered outside the courthouse following Anthony's conviction, attempted to transform the murder case into a racial crusade. Muhammad's demand for Anthony's release came just one day after prosecutors disclosed explosive evidence that had not been presented to the original jury. Bill Werski told the court that the former girlfriend reported him for stalking her the morning that Metcalf was killed. They also described text messages in which Anthony allegedly wrote that he was on the verge and fantasized about stabbing someone. Approximately 1 hour after his girlfriend reportedly contacted school officials, Anthony stabbed Metcalf at the track meet. This evidence was withheld from the original trial under an agreement between the prosecutors and the defense attorneys, limiting the introduction of damaging character evidence about both Anthony and Metcalf. How would there be, like, you can't bring character evidence against the victim of a crime unless the guy would have known about it somehow. Ozempic is racist and shit. Just asking questions. Yeah, just like Candace. Who's her chiropractor? Yeah. Truthfully, I don't know how she can stand upright, let alone walk. So what's this say? Karmelo Anthony, prosecutor reveals evidence jury never saw. So, according to local media, Worski told the court that Anthony's high school girlfriend gone to the assistant principal after their breakup, saying he was stalking her. She described him as fixated on fights, firearms, and knives. I offered their agreement. Let's stay away from historical character and stick to the facts. What happened under the tent. The agreement was meant to keep the publicly fraught trial from becoming an even more volatile racial tinderbox. So, and then Fox News says, untapped Karmelo Anthony evidence cache showed he stalked his ex-girlfriend, had a knife obsession. Good night, all. Headache wins. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Joe. Thanks for being here. All right, friends and pirates, I got to go. Your remaining chat boss is Gundam. See you next time. Well, cool. Thank you. So thanks for being here. All right, let's see what this appeals attorney explains Karmelo's narrow path to a new murder trial. Let's hear it.
It's definitely difficult. It's not something that you see commonly or ordinarily in cases, but it didn't surprise me too terribly much here, both because of Judge Roach's comments to the news so quickly after the trial, which was
Thank you, Mother
unusual.
Copia.
With the motion to recuse, it really costs the court nothing to grant that motion. Another judge substitutes in, and they proceed with that judge. The motion for new trial is very different. Granting that motion wipes out the conviction and the sentence altogether and gives Karmelo Anthony a new trial. And no one wants to do that unless there's a very, very good reason for it. So it is very, very difficult to win these motions in any case. And I would be surprised if they were successful here. These motions are very rarely successful. And so just looking at the odds here, I can say that the odds of them being successful are very low. Appellate procedure in Texas, the judge has 75 days to rule on a motion for new trial. And that 75 days runs from sentencing. Because Karmelo Anthony was sentenced in early June, that 75-day clock times out this upcoming Monday. So if the judge does not grant the motion by Monday, then by operation of law, the motion will be denied. So the new judge has just 4 days to grant this motion. If the new trial were granted, then the existing conviction and sentence are set aside, and Karmelo Anthony would be remanded to the custody of the Collin County Sheriff. And it would, in a lot of ways, be like a time machine, going back to before he was convicted and sentenced. And at that point, all the options that were on the table then would be back on the table now. And so by that, I mean he could again exercise his right to plead not guilty and have a jury trial. He could try to work out a plea deal. Really anything that was available before would be available again now.
That's interesting. I
think some of these.
Sorry, I got a whole bunch of tabs open still that I don't have to have open. So, judge will consider new trial for Karmelo Anthony. Victims, juvenile history or character have no place in a murder trial. Only history of shared conflict should be allowed. Yeah, Butterball is a trademark brand. Yeah, Butterball is a good. Yeah, thanks, Mother Topia, for the raid. Thank you so much. I'm late, but I offer up my like as a tribute. Well, thank you. Thank you. We're still $45 away from adding an extra hour to the show. So first additional hour could be more, could be less. Don't know. So we'll see what happens. If we keep going or not. So yeah, these people are all happy about it. Look at them. Yeah, happy. So new judge to consider retrial. Judge is considering a murder conviction to retrial. So Anthony's attorneys have asked the state judge to be removed, which he was removed. Jurors rejected the claims that he acted in self-defense. Opening statements are underway in the retrial hearing. So let's see here.
Story. The second hearing is underway in the Karmelo Anthony appeal. It follows a major twist. The judge who oversaw the original trial was recused yesterday. Now, this means that a new judge is overseeing today's hearing for a new trial. Right now, opening statements are underway. Our Trevor Sahaki is at the Collin County Courthouse in McKinney with the story.
This new judge could grant Karmelo Anthony's request for a new trial, or he could deny that request and send the case to an appeals court. That new judge is retired Kaufman County Judge Michael Chitty.
I haven't heard from Joe in weeks, so I don't know what's going on. I still send him emails every day with stories and stuff, but he has not reached out to me in 2 weeks now. So I don't know. If he has a history of violence, why would that be? Wouldn't that be allowed? It should be, but they were trying to smear the victim as being violent, like bring up shit about him, about other stuff, and so they just said, fine, we won't bring up anything about his history. You don't bring up anything about this guy's history, and we'll just get done with it.
Was appointed after Anthony's attorneys successfully argued the original judge, John Roach Jr., gave an improper public interview 2 days after the trial ended. Supporters of Karmelo Anthony cheered and celebrated together after the recusal was granted. Those same supporters lined up early this morning outside the courthouse. They are now inside of the courtroom watching the proceedings going on. Anthony has been serving his 35-year sentence in a Central Texas prison for the last 2 months after a jury found him guilty of murdering Austin Metcalf at a Frisco track meet last year. The 19-year-old has maintained he stabbed Metcalf in self-defense. Now, we may get a decision on a new trial today, but there's no timeline for that just yet. We do have a reporter inside the courtroom, and we'll bring you the very latest.
What's up, Hank? How you doing? Great to see you.
Sahaki, CBS News, Texas.
Yeah. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. So their opening statements by the defense. They're requesting he be removed from his shackles, which the judge approved. Wilson said Anthony's trial that was material prejudice and claimed the previous judge ran a shadow docket, relying on off-the-record agreement between the prosecutors and defense. Wilson said that Anthony also didn't have any hearings until jury selection. Wilson also claimed that there was a Waller violation, which refers to a constitutional error in which the trial court improperly closed or a judge held private hearing without properly protecting a defendant's right to a public trial. This is crazy. I'm doing good. Haven't seen a crowd like that since Section H voucher giveaway. It's crazy, right? So Wilson said that it should result in a new trial. Wilson said character information about Austin Metcalf and his twin brother was left out of the trial. Why would character information about the twin brother be anything at all? I mean, thought they were going to say Karmelo had a history of violence. No, Karmelo does have a history of violence and all this other stuff. They're trying to say like, oh, we should have been able to talk about the victims, social media posts and stuff like that. Yeah, it's our position that through the record, through trial testimony, through voir dire, kept out information they could have used. Wilson claimed there was no punishment evidence presented and that Anthony's punishment was dramatically truncated. What? Yeah, the only way the victim's history becomes relevant is in relation to the defendant. Anything else? Yeah, the defendant would have to have known about it. Prosecutor said every one of those decisions made was consented to by the trial lawyers. He claims that Anthony's family got a verdict they didn't like and switched lawyers. Wersky said multiple off-the-record conversations took place, and it's just the way we do business in Texas. Wersky spoke about the threats those involved with the case received, including the family, students, and the judge who reduced Anthony's bond. He said this is the first case his team has dealt with in an environment like this. Before the trial, they said Karmelo never knew the Metcalf twins, so how would he know? Yeah. I don't think he gets a new trial. If he does, it's just retarded. This new judge is retired and doesn't have to worry about attacks or getting reelected. He's going to hear them out and then deny new trial. We'll see. They're scared they're going to burn down the city. Yeah. So he shared that the morning of the stabbing, Anthony's ex-girlfriend claimed he was stalking her. He said Anthony's actions were caught in a 404 motion. So the first witness called was the former Collin County Public Information Officer and the information coordinator who was involved in media planning around the trial. He was terminated on May 13th. He testified he was in charge of press releases for the DA's office, among other things involved in preparation for the Anthony murder trial. Jackson admitted to releasing trial scheduling information to a social media influencer who should not have been authorized to receive it, as it had not been released publicly. It was part of a gag order. When Werski found out, he wasn't happy, and Jackson said he got a tongue lashing. He was then informed he would be suspended and met with Roach in his chambers. The defense showed the gag order in which the hearing schedules his permitted communications with the media. The prosecution objected and said that was released was actually the first 4 days of the trial schedule, which was not among the permitted communications. I think he should be offered a new trial, but he should be told if you're convicted again, you'll get life without possibility of parole. You still want a new trial? Oh, they can't do that. But you understand the difference between Channel 11 and North Carolina B, correct? Yeah. The bombshell testimony. So Karmelo Anthony's trial lawyer called to the stand. Bombshell testimony from the trial attorney Mike Howard about Metcalf's background report was never presented to the jury. He said everyone wanted the temperature on this to be turned down. There were security concerns and everyone experienced harassment. Howard said there was a large volume of character, reputation, and extraneous information related to the Metcalfs. Oh, we're seeking a hearing regarding admissibility of the evidence, said Howard. I wanted to know prior to the hearing whether that would be admissible or not, because it would have been greatly changed our strategy. As a defense lawyer, you always have to have two routes you can take. We chose to show our cards to get the better idea of what we would or would not be admissible. A document shared contained messages included KKK, kill all black people, Heil Hitler, various forms of the N-word. Howard also said Roach had a lot of off-the-record conversations about Anthony. He said the state and defense would show up and just meet in chambers and became more frequent over time. During the recusal hearings, Anthony's legal team focused on comments Roach made to Dallas TV News when he said the jury got it right. So several schools were competing at the track meet. Metcalf and others repeatedly told him to leave, and he didn't leave, and then he pulled out a knife and stabbed him. Metcalf pushed Anthony, who said Anthony then pulled out a knife and stabbed him. Okay, so I don't understand. Like, it's like ridiculous. It's like very ridiculous. Like they're actually going to try and paint the kid who got killed as some kind of racist now. And so that'll be like justification. Oh, he was racist. Yeah, Metcalf wasn't on trial. No, I know. But they're saying the Metcalf, so they're going to go ahead and say the brother said something. This is beyond pathetic. It really is. So we have to list every sin Metcalf's ever committed, but no one can say anything about George Floyd's past. It's crazy, isn't it? Isn't that crazy? Huh. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of crazy. All right, this next story is very interesting. ActBlue co-founder pleads the fifth in closed-door House GOP grilling. Hey, what's up, Sugar Beer? Thanks for being here. No, they're requesting a new trial. That's the thing. So the closed-door session before three committees lasted less than a half hour. Well, let's see. What's this one? So this is about the SPLC, right?
Joining us now is House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan. Chairman, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We do appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
Yeah, I watched that hearing. I was baffled by some of his responses. They talk about their heat map, and just every organization on there is one that espouses right-leaning views, nothing to do with extremism, really, for most of them. But now we're learning that they're smart about this. They're infiltrating into programs at colleges that are teaching teachers. And so trying to circumvent any kind of oversight there, do you think there's a way to get in and stop that?
Yeah, the Justice Department's, indicted him for money.
Hey, look at this. We have $5 from Regine. Thank you so much, Regine Reynolds. That means right now, folks, we're just 40 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. We got about, 20 minutes. About 20 minutes to go if we don't hit the goal. So if we hit the goal, we'll go another hour. Thank you so much, Regine. We're 40 away now, just 40 away from adding another additional hour. Maybe some others will donate now. Maybe. We'll see. Great to see a streamer dog with no shock collar. Yeah, my dog doesn't need any shock collar. My dog is very, loves to be on camera. Metcalf started the physical altercation. His character has everything to do with the case. If his history shows blatant racism, it would be factor into him starting this. Oh, okay, Dr. Meganauts. Okay. Oh. That's not how the law works. He's not on trial. Anthony would have to know he was a racist, but Anthony claimed that they said he didn't know them. They had never met, didn't know anything about him. So he have no reason to know any of this stuff. That's the way the law works. Double jeopardy does not apply if the conviction is thrown out.
Money laundering and bank fraud, and well-deserved, because they were paying, as you said, $4 million to these, quote, field sources to run a scam. They were paying these people to foment the hate they told their donors that they were actually fighting. And it
Oh, look at that. We got another 5 from Jonathan Marcus. Thank you, Jonathan. That means right now, folks, we are just $35 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much, everybody. You can't stab somebody because you think someone's racist. Yeah.
worked for them. They went from making 51 million, I think, in 1 year to the next year 130 some million. So this was what they were doing. But the real takeaway is what you're getting at, Joey, which is they became the standard. Yeah. The Biden Justice Department was having quarterly meetings with them. Bring Lisa Monaco, the number 2 guy person at the Justice Department, meeting every single quarter with the SPLC. They were training, helping train lawyers, assistant U.S. attorneys for the Justice Department. So they became the standard, so much so that they're now, as you pointed out, also infiltrated the schools. And it was all a scam. They became the standard when, in fact, they were out there promoting this hate and doing all the crazy things they were doing. I think it's great that Todd Blanche and the Justice Department is actually now holding them to account.
Congressman, it's Joe Concha. I'm just curious, what happens next? Because so often we see where there appears to be a guilty party or entity in these situations, but then nothing happens and they continue to exist and go on to do the things they were accused of doing in the past. So the question is, what happens next? Can this organization, the SPLC, actually be disbanded in any way by the power of Congress?
Well, I think just the fact that we now know that they were a scam, that they aren't the, quote, standard out there. You know, they were labeling like Family Research Council, Moms for Liberty. They were labeling them hate groups all the while they were out there fomenting this hate. So I think we know the facts. So I think that's going to give them less influence. And then God bless Attorney General Blanche and the work the Justice Department's doing. They're now indicting these people. I mean, they're indicting people that I think have done things wrong over the last decade, like Jim Comey, like John Bolton. I think John Brennan's coming next. And here we have the Southern Poverty Law Center. So I think Attorney General Blanche and the folks at the Justice Department are doing what needs to be done. And that's ultimately how you hold them accountable, is you indict them when they do wrong things like they did.
Certainly. Well, Congressman, Chairman, I want to turn to this. While the Save America Act stalls in Congress, the Trump Justice Department is warning election officials in all 50 states and D.C. they could face criminal prosecution if they knowingly allow non-citizens to remain on voter rolls or cast ballots. This comes as ICE says it arrested a non-citizen in New Jersey accused of illegally registering to vote. I was told this never happens. And casting a ballot in the 2022 election. Chairman, I was told that never, ever happens. There's just no way. A couple things here. not only that part of it and cracking down on non-citizens on the voter rolls, but also I got to ask you about the Save America Act or some iteration of it. We talk about it on this show every weekend. We know that John Thune says he doesn't have the votes over there in the Senate, but my colleagues and I are always wondering, is there some kind of a voter ID initiative that can pass, that we can push for if...
Well, we hope so. We hope
that
there's something they
particular
can
Save
pass.
America Act isn't plausible. And last weekend, I believe we had Senator Ken.
Yeah, so whatever. ActBlue co-founder Matt Debergalis pleads the fifth during his closed-door deposition before 3 House committees. The Committee on House Administration, House Oversight, and House Judiciary are conducting a joint investigation into ActBlue. So there's no law that justifies stabbing a racist. Yeah, you can't stab if you know someone's a racist. Yeah, that's just, that's what it is. Good to see you, Jet. Thanks for being here. So they're looking into the massive fundraising platform of the Demon Rats over allegations of the lax fraud prevention standards and that they have allowed foreign donations into U.S. campaigns. His deposition, which was scheduled for Thursday morning, lasted less than a half hour. He entered and exited the committee room within 25 minutes. So he just walked in, said, "I plead the fifth," and left. Wow. They reached out to ActBlue for comment, and a majority and minority of each of the 3 committees. ActBlue is prolific across the Demon Rat campaigns, been used by AOC, Bernie, and Abdul El Sayed. So pleading the fifth is not evidence of wrongdoing. Oh, it's not? ActBlue has repeatedly denied running afoul of the law. Oh, okay. The Committee on House Administration, the reason you plead the fifth is because you don't want to incriminate yourself for breaking the law. So accused, they accepted foreign donations and fraudulent donations, and they don't require credit card CVV numbers for contributions. ActBlue has updated its donation requirements with a CVV mandate. So, report released by the committees in 2025 claimed ActBlue executives and staff are aware of both the foreign and domestic fraudulent actors exploiting their platform. The platform's current CEO invoked the fifth during a public hearing earlier this year. Style told Fox News in an interview it was unclear if ActBlue updated its standards. That's how the fifth works. Plead it once, you don't have to answer anymore. That's why the Fauci thing with Congress was so phony. Yeah. Well, the thing with Fauci was because Fauci had a pardon. So he doesn't, you have, like, you can, if you get granted immunity, they can force you to testify. So getting a pardon is like being granted immunity. That's the difference. It's unclear how serious ActBlue is now taking on fraud. We know they weakened their fraud standards previously. Did they make changes that are needed to root out the foreign funds coming into elections? We don't know. He also pointed to other ActBlue executives' silence in face of Republican questioning. What's so frustrating to me, and I think countless others, is they have the right to not answer questions, but I think the American people have the right to know exactly what's taking place on this platform. And this platform's raised $20 billion for Demon Rat candidates since its creation. Same thing here. It just says ActBlue co-founder pleads the fifth in closed-door deposition. So that's it. So, here, look at this is the guy. Go figure. That's what he looks like. Wow. So is anything going to happen? Who knows? Who knows? It's basically the same exact story. All right. Next story. U.S. quietly guides millions of barrels of oil through the Strait of Hormuz in stealth operation. Just a Congress shit show. If it was real, Fauci would go before a grand jury. The U.S. has been stealthily shepherding millions of barrels of oil a day through the Strait of Hormuz, helping prevent further shock to the world's oil markets, analysts said. The fifth prevents against self-incrimination. If it's not possible, you have no right to plea as such. Yeah.
The U.S. successfully protected tankers carrying about 5 million barrels of oil daily throughout July by conducting stealth missions near the Omani coast. They have been extraordinarily effective in keeping that southern corridor operating despite the attacks. Windward shipping analyst said the missions began in May, around 70 ships crossing in the first 3 weeks, many opting to use shadow fleet tactics such as turning off radars to sneak by undetected. Top secret giant tankers. Yeah. Stealthy tankers, sure. Well, no, they shut off. They do it at night. They shut off their AIS and their radar, and they have the Navy ship guiding them, so they can, I don't know. Despite the repeated attacks from Iran, which claims to control the strait, the ships continued to cross regularly through June and July, which likely kept oil prices from breaking into triple digits. Energy Secretary Chris Wright estimated that even more oil was sneaking through, claiming that 9 million barrels were passing through Hormuz daily. So, and oil prices are up, though, like 88.15. These are a lot. They're up $2.32, so almost 3%. So they're rising every day. So for some reason, prices are still going up. So Central Command, which oversees the missions, approximates it's helped more than 1,000 ships cross the strait. The operation does not come without significant costs. U.S. forces forced to deploy ships, helicopters, and planes to intercept the attacks from Iran. The cost of intercepting the strikes is notably higher than what it cost Iran to attack using cheap suicide drones. Interceptions also are not foolproof, with at least 15 ships taking damage from Iranian fire since June. The attacks have also resulted in the deaths of 3 seafarers and left another 16 injured. Deadly attacks have left many ships unwilling to cross the strait, with about 2/3 of the pre-war oil flow still trapped. While oil prices are still lower than from the height of the war, the breakdown in negotiations have led to Brent crude spiking to 93 a barrel on Wednesday. So there's that. There's that story. And then you guys remember about a week or two ago, there was the Air Force major that got arrested for doing some kind of protests outside the White House and everything in uniform. And he's an active duty major. Well, he was charged and told by the Air Force that he was not allowed to go to any more protests. He was basically not supposed to do any of this stuff because he was facing charges. Well, he went back to protest again, and so now he is in custody. The Air Force has arrested him, and he is in the stockade, as they say. Or it would be the brig if it was the Navy or the Marines. I believe it's called the stockade for the Army and Air Force. I might be wrong, though. Well, the Dems predicted oil would go to 150, and they didn't, so they're mad. Yeah. So...
The president and vice president must be impeached, convicted, and removed.
Yes!
Yeah. I've been wondering, why is he being arrested? He's just protesting. It is illegal. It's against the law to do this in uniform. He can't do it. He knows this. So he's gonna get a dishonorable discharge. He's gonna probably spend some time in Leavenworth. That's the way it is. You're not allowed to do it. Time to drum him out. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Oh, yeah. So he's detained again for a Capitol protest. So a U.S. service member who was arrested on the steps of the Capitol last month after advocating for Trump's impeachment was detained again. The Air Force major was ordered into pretrial confinement on Tuesday. His attorney told CNN that the service member was arrested on duty and taken into county jail on Tuesday after Watson informed his chain of command that he would no longer be wearing his uniform. So this guy he wants out, so he's going to get out just the hard way. I hope he gets a dishonorable discharge. Attorney said his legal team was awaiting the government's evidence in the case ahead of the detention hearing. His detainment follows a Monday interview he sat for with Burnett, during which he defended his decision to call for impeachment on the Capitol steps. The service member was protesting the U.S. military's actions against Venezuela, Cuba, and Iran under the Trump administration. So, an Air Force spokesman said it's under investigation, confirmed he'd not been formally charged. Military members are required to comply with the UCMJ and all applicable regulations. Based on probable cause to support the allegations of continued misconduct, he was ordered into pretrial confinement. That's right. You only get the benefit to like stay out of jail and like if you're going to do what they ask you to do. So he'll go before a military tribunal. Well, he can go before a general court martial is probably where he's going to go. So, hey, look at this. Doxy Mom with 10 says, anybody with me? Let's rally. It's going to have to be quick because now we're 25 away. Thank you so much from adding a first hour, but we got like 5 minutes to go. But I'll as long as it comes in before I end, we'll get it going. Still a service member. Yeah, not for long though. Immunity is a pardon. You can invoke the fifth on a question by question basis, not as a blanket refusal. Yeah, you can just say like, no, I'm not going to answer that question. Probably just a commission resignation if an officer. No, he's going to probably face it. Other charges. I'm sure the charges will be conduct unbecoming an officer in the United States Air Force, other violations of the UCMJ. So, yeah. He contempt towards officials, failure to obey an order or regulation. He's facing significant jail time. He's facing discharge from the military. Depending on how the government wants to stack charges and bring him, he could be looking at serious jail time. Yeah, serious jail time. Serious jail time. But, CNN's Aaron Burnett treats the Air Force major like an inspirational hero, pushing to impeach Trump. The Air Force major was arrested on the steps of the Capitol. CNN's Aaron Burnett says he was given free rein to go after Trump while being treated like an inspirational hero. She touted this in his first interview.
Out front now, Air Force Major Jason Watson.
Wait, what happened? Why does it keep doing that?
He was arrested last month on the steps of the U.S. Capitol after calling for President Trump and Vice President Vance's impeachment and removal from office over the war in Iran and other issues. And tonight is his first television interview since that arrest. And Major Watson, obviously, you have done this after incredible consideration. You've been in the Air Force for 17 years. You're in the Air Force. And you know that by choosing to speak out as you did in uniform, calling for the commander-in-chief's impeachment and removal from office, that carries grave consequences, violates the laws governing the U.S. military. But you chose to do it, knowing all of that. Tell me why.
Because I'm an idiot. Because I'm a fucking retard.
Well, I think the most important thing for all of us to keep in mind is what is happening with President Trump is not normal. He has failed us, and not only is he a failure as president, he is flagrantly violating the Constitution, breaking the law, engaged in rampant corruption, and is killing Americans. And that is unacceptable to me. And it should be unacceptable to all of us. I feel like, unfortunately, many of us have gotten used to this, and we've normalized to this conduct, and we think that there's nothing that we can do about it. And one of the reasons I chose to use the pseudonym of Just a Nobody was to underscore that you do not have to be somebody special to take action and reject this government. We can all do something about what's happening in our country. And I want to just inspire people and bring the conversation to impeach, convict, remove. And there are organizations out there that I joined with, Removal Coalition with Jessica Denson, and Citizens Impeachment with Kira Havens and John Boniface's Free Speech for People, that are not getting enough attention. And I want to try to spotlight them as much as I can and to inspire.
Oh, look at that. We got another 10 from America First. Says, I've done 20 tonight. Who's going to do another 15 to get one more hour? Well, thank you. With that, we're now 15 away from adding an hour. Thank you so much.
Americans to act, because I believe we can defeat this government if we just take a stand.
Well, if we just take a stand. Wow. That's crazy. Well, I'm sorry, everybody. It's been 2.5 hours. We're still 15 away. So I guess that's it for the night. We'll have to do it again tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Jonathan goes, here's 10 for the next hour. Okay. Thank you so much, Jonathan. That means we're now just 5 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. I guess I'm going to wait and see. And then Karen O with 1 gifted membership.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
Well, thank you so much, Karen O. That means now we are just $99 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. And then we have Gene for 5. That means we're now $94 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. And then for Doxy Mom for another 10. That means we're just $84 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. So now we're 84 away from a second. Jim was about to run. I was about to run. I was just about to go. And then Dalu for 5. Means we're now 79 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. I guess I have to make some adjustments here now because thank you all so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone. I have to go in here now and shut the ads off that we're getting ready to roll. Yeah. And then do this, and then do this, and then do this. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Thanks, everybody. Yes. All right. Let me put this back up like this. So, and we'll get on to the next story of the evening. I got a bunch of stories lined up. So yeah. So Barnett's basically, basically letting this guy, you're talking about desire to inspire, and you're not, of course, as somebody, you're a somebody, right? You're doing it. You're inspiring stuff. So she's basically,
You mentioned the Constitution, you mentioned corruption, and I know you have specific reasons for why you feel this is necessary and why the president should be removed from office. It is obviously, it includes the war in Iran, but it is much more than that. But it is in the context of the war in Iran at this moment, right, that you are choosing to do this. What is it about the war and this commander-in-chief, President Trump's handling of it, that made you do this at this moment?
So I know that there are some folks probably in your audience that have seen my interview with Jessica Denson. I talk about this a little bit. And it's important to just underscore that what is happening with the Iran war is very predictable strategically. And a lot of much smarter people than me knew that it would have gone pretty poorly. Like the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, that's known. And a lot of the consequences that we're seeing, there was probably advice that was being given to the president of the United States saying, this is what's going to happen if you do this. And he chose to do it anyways. And that's an important context to keep in mind with all of
This guy's just guessing. There's probably this, there's probably that. And we had a 20 from Scrappy. Thank you, Scrappy. Thank you so much. As Scrappy, that means we're now just $59 away from adding a second additional hour. I mean, I can't believe we're almost, that's crazy. We're right there. We're going to be on a second hour soon. Yes, thank you, Regine. Thank you, Scrappy. Thanks to everybody. He has to go before Air Force Intelligence, NSA, and then shrinks. Yeah. He's having fun about now. Yeah, this guy's going to have some problems. He really is.
this. But at the end of the day, it's also more important to remember that what he did was unconstitutional. It was an aggressive war of choice that if we saw another country do that, we would probably look to our allies and say, what are we going to do about this? And you could make the comparison with what happened in Ukraine. That was an aggressive war of choice. And now we as a country, America, is choosing to do that with Iran.
All right, Major Jason Watson, I appreciate your time very much. And I thank you for...
Yeah, anybody that'll bash Trump, you'll love to have him on. So yeah, these people suck. They suck so bad. All right, next story. U.S. designates an American citizen held by China as wrongfully detained. It's hard to get jobs with this dishonorable discharge. Yes, it is. Guy's a paid asset, probably. Good, get rid of a major like that. It is. Here's the thing. You get rid of this guy. He's 3 years away from retirement. 20 years, and he'd have been getting a pension. So get him out of here. I like listening to the news roundup while getting things done around the house. Much appreciate you. Oh, I must appreciate Scrappy. I appreciate you having me go. I do these every night. It's great. I love the people hit the like button and share the streams out and do the stuff, and get things done. So the U.S. designates an American citizen, Min Zin, held by China as wrongfully detained. Why do we even need a State Department, all these generals and a president when a major can make all the decisions? Yeah, right? You're having fun while crocheting. Well, thank you. I like crocheting. So look at this. Taiwan practices war games as it fears increasing China aggression.
Which claims the territory of 23 million people. Taiwan is engaged in 10 days of war games, preparing the country for a potential invasion. The drills focus on one critical concern, China, which claims the territory of 23 million people as its own and has threatened to seize it by force. And CBS's Anna Corin is there for us tonight with new details on its defense plans. Anna, what can you tell us?
Tom, these military exercises are more important than ever as China increases pressure with more aggressive behavior towards the island. It also comes at a time when Taiwan is questioning President Trump's support and whether the U.S. would actually come to Taiwan's defense if China was to attack.
Playing out in one of the world's most dangerous flashpoints, Taiwan's military preparing for the island's nightmare scenario.
Sirens have just gone off as if Taiwan has just been attacked. The pilots have been activated and they're now racing to scramble the fighter jets behind us as quickly as possible.
This is part of Hanguang, Taiwan's annual military exercises. Active units and reservists mobilized on how they would react to an invasion from an increasingly aggressive neighbor roughly 100 miles away. China claims Taiwan, a self-governing democracy of 23 million people, as its own territory. And Chinese President Xi Jinping has not ruled out taking it by force. The media offered a rare insight into the military's full-throttled response.
These exercises are happening all over the island.
We've been in the north at an Air Force base.
Yep.
We're now heading south.
Well, there is a kind of a coalition, America First, Japan, Australia. They're supposed to also get in. Philippines, Malaysia, other countries. We're kind of all involved in it. But it's going to come down. It's going to be a mess, man. It's going to be a mess if this goes.
At Zuoying Naval Station, positioned close to the southern tip of the island, Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te arrived to observe drills on the Taiwan Strait, a narrow strip of water separating the island from the Chinese mainland. Suicide drones flew overhead, while assault vessels and missile boats sat offshore, simulating a response to an amphibious assault. But the war games weren't restricted to the sea and skies. Urban warfare, a top priority for Taiwan's forces.
It's just gone 2 o'clock in the morning, and these military exercises are now happening in downtown Taipei. The military is covering and protecting every inch of this island.
A huge comfort for the Taiwanese who cherish their freedom.
We are
driven and resolute and will never back down, explains this man. Sentiments clearly on display by the men and women in uniform willing to fight for their homeland.
Now, that $14 billion arms package is yet to be approved by President Trump, and that's unlikely to happen until after September, when President Xi is due in Washington. Tom.
All right, Anna Corin for us tonight. Anna, thank
you. Okay.
When something's going wrong at home.
No. American citizen Min Zin has been legally designated by the U.S. as wrongfully detained by China. Secretary Rubio has formally designated U.S. citizen as wrongfully detained. We call on Beijing to release all U.S. citizens arbitrarily detained or exit banned in China. The safety and security of U.S. citizens is the State Department's top priority. To say, I don't think most of us understand it. China is basically equal with the United States militarily. I don't know about that. I mean, if they do it, it's because the House of Cards global finance system is the issue. Yeah. Fortunately, Taiwan Navy will get curb stomped quite quickly. Yeah. Yeah, the Taiwanese wouldn't give up easily without having a bloody fight. Well, that's the thing. They got to make it messy enough. China has to, there's a whole scenario, the amount of time it will take us to be able to get there to do something. If they decide to go. Yeah, China has over 2 million soldiers. That's great that they've got 2 million soldiers. They got to get them into the fight. You got to get them onto the island. You got to get them somewhere. China has been pestering Taiwan since I was in grade school 60 years ago. Yeah. So we call on Beijing to release all U.S. citizens. This designation follows an extensive review of the circumstances surrounding Min Zin's June 3rd detention in Yunnan, a province in southwestern China, adding that he was invited there by the Chinese government for an academic conference. China's foreign ministry spokesman Lin Jian said Min Zin was being held on suspicion of engaging in espionage and endangering China's national security without providing further details. Being in Iran has our military closer to Taiwan. It does, actually. Yeah, those 2 million are in China. They have no way to get them anywhere else. That is the problem. That is the problem. The PLA is getting combat experience in Ukraine, same as the DPRK. That's what I've been reading. So, Og Ma Zin said in a statement that the accusations of the local security service that Min Zin was engaged in espionage cannot be further from the truth. Yes, they have to feed all those soldiers. Yes, they do. So Min Zin, founder and executive director of Institute for Strategy and Policy, Myanmar, is the second American academic to be designated as wrongfully detained in recent months. The other American is Dr. Yulin Chen, whose wife said in a statement she was glad to see the designation. I'm glad to see Secretary Rubio designate Min Zin as wrongfully detained. It meant a great deal to me when my husband was designated because it means that his freedom is a priority for the Trump administration. I hope it gives the same comfort to Min Zin and his family. The Institute for Strategy and Policy Myanmar, ISP Myanmar, said he was wrongfully detained while traveling to the city of Kunming for an academic workshop. In addition to his role at the Institute, he's a PhD candidate in the Travers Department of Political Science at the University of California, Berkeley. According to ISP Myanmar, his brother said he was accepted into Berkeley PhD program despite not completing high school. China has over 1,000 ships in its navy. We still have more tonnage than they do, though. China's last rocket go boom. Their equipment is sus. Yes, they still eat dogs. So they call for the immediate unconditional release. Minzin became an American citizen in 2012, and he has a teenage daughter. His brother said he fled his native country of Burma due to his leadership in student protests and was forced into hiding 7 years ago before going to the U.S. Space Ace 17, what's up? Trump and Dems will continue having problems to paid and happy and all his scum to probs to I am paid and happy and all his scumbags. I don't know what, I can't really decipher this. They have meat dogs, I think, and they're hungry if you're a hungry male. Okay. He was in China at the invitation of a professor that he had known for a number of years. I just love how people talk about going to war like it will be a piece of cake. We won't suffer tremendous consequences. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. If you're going to go to war, though, you have to be prepared for what comes. Like, if we go to war with China, we're going to lose a lot of guys. We're going to lose a lot of ships. But so are they. The whole world economy is going to come crashing down. Like, yeah, China makes a bunch of crap that a bunch of people buy, but it's not shit people need to survive. You know, the problem is we let them start making the shit people need to survive, like antibiotics and different medicines and, you know, these rare earths. We've got to get the shit away from them. You know what I mean? A global currency collapse is World War III. Yeah, definitely. No, it's not. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm just saying that if the American people have the will to fight and the desire to win, they're going to win. We might lose a lot of people. But, I mean, look how many people we lost in World War II. A lot. Draft the retards to go in with toothpicks to sit on the nuge they before to bring with them. Okay. I don't know what that means either. I do not want to die for Taiwan. We have no idea how far this would escalate and whether or not China would use nuclear weapons. Well, so his arrest took place weeks after Mr. Trump attended a summit in Beijing. The problem is, yeah, we made a mistake by letting them in the WTO. The problem is Taiwan is where all the top quality semiconductors are made. If we let China control it, that's a problem. I mean, seriously, that's where all the high quality, you know, whatever, you know, all the great, you know, basically the shit needs to get out of there. We need to have factories move back to the U.S. The shit was all made in the U.S. until the EPA and the leftist green people fought to have it all moved out because, you know, there's a problem, you know, there's a problem. The president has made moves to protect Taiwan since the first, TMSC. As far as bioweapons go, all Chinese are basically the same DNA. As of now, soon to be made in Grimes County, Texas. I hope so. So his arrest took place a few weeks after Trump attended a summit in Beijing and called it an incredible visit. Well, you know, here's another thing too. I mean, you guys, all this talk about flock cameras and data centers, but how could you be against Darth Vader comes out in favor of flock cameras? Yeah, it'll be a piece of cake fighting China. No one ever said it's going to be a piece of cake. What are you talking about? No one ever said it's going to be a piece of cake. Was it a piece of cake fighting Japan? Was it a piece of cake fighting Germany? Was it a piece of cake fighting Vietnam? Was it a piece of cake fighting in Afghanistan or Iran or Afghanistan? No, it's never a piece of cake. I mean, The first Gulf War, Desert Storm, was kind of like the easiest war we ever had, but we didn't actually do much except for just kind of get them to leave and then destroy them as they were fleeing. I mean, let's be real.
The Emperor is a fan of block, and we must continue utilizing block technologies so that we can follow and surveil the rebel scum as they move from playground to playground, from playground to pool, from pool to gymnasium, because we all know that the block cameras are not only following the license plate readers, they are following children. They are following children in parks and gymnasiums, and we need this. I need this so I can stop my ex-girlfriend. Also, it should be known that the people of this town, the poors that want their storm drains cleared, they should not have their storm drains cleared. Because in order to do that, we will have to raise taxes. And how will the people trust the city council when this city council continues to vote for surveillance technology that imprisons them? Miss Campbell, you must work on your Jedi mind tricks. Do it like this. And when you do it, make sure that when you're double speaking them into telling them that police services have become more humanitarian, make sure that you don't emphasize the detail that you put a ban on camping. You put a ban. You made criminalizing homelessness illegal, and that is why there is no such thing as humanitarian policing for the homeless.
Wow, this guy seems like he's like speaking out of both sides of his mouth. America First says, what I'm saying is I don't think the consequences are worth it. What's the consequences of let China do whatever they want? I mean, let them invade California and take that too because you don't want to fight them. Let them just take over the world. Let us all be speaking Chinese. You know, you want communism? I mean, communism, it's the new communism is China. It is. I mean, at some point, you're going to have to stand up to China. I don't know. We may have tonnage, but we are forced in a global naval presence. Plan only needs initially to control their neighborhood in the 9-dash line. Yeah, it's true. I don't know. Human shields do not work in a world war.
Because we have effectively criminalized homelessness, which is good. Now we can staff. Now we can fill our jails with free prison labor, especially like that of the Otay Mason Detention Center, where they are making $1 a day for working for 12 hours. And there have been multiple cases of tuberculosis. Yes, and this is good. This is what the Emperor needs. This technology will help us find the rebel scum and their hidden base on Hoth. This technology will help us find Luke Skywalker as he traverses the universe in his X-Wing. This technology is a necessary force.
Darth Vader wants flock cameras. Yeah. These city councils are dead. People are dead inside. Just look at them. They're like not even like, you know, they're not even, can't even laugh. I guess because of Alex Stein and all his stuff, you know, he's selling me. Yeah. Is that Arnold? I don't know. Round him up, make work. Yeah. I'm tired of the U.S. always trying to save the world. Well, we don't have to save the world, but at some point we have to save ourselves. And for all the bitching crew, Chinese want revenge on every country involved in a century of shame. We are one of those countries. Yeah. So check this out. Henderson County DA strips Trinidad, Texas Police Department of prosecution powers after cops arrest 2 citizen journalists for exercising their First Amendment rights. I'm proud to have helped make this happen. The department needs to be disbanded. A DA standing up for the law. This is crazy. Henderson County DA strips Trinidad, Texas Police Department of prosecution powers. The East Texas town of under 1,000 implodes over dirty water cover-up, retaliatory arrests, fired judge, mass resignations, and 15 years of bad policing.
It's 100% about the dick jokes. Probably. Probably. The Henderson County DA and county attorney have informed the Trinidad, Texas Police Department that they will no longer accept any cases for prosecution solely investigated or filed by that department until further notice. The letter obtained by local media effectively neuters the Trinidad Police Department's ability to bring meaningful criminal cases. The Henderson County sheriffs will handle crimes inside city limits. Pending cases will be reviewed one by one. The prosecutors themselves requested the ongoing Texas Commission of Law Enforcement audit the department. Trinidad, a town of fewer than 1,000, about an hour southeast of Dallas, has struggled for years with serious water problems, discolored water, sediment, strong odors, and chemical readings far above legal limits. Yeah. Vagrancy laws have been around forever. I remember when I was a kid, my daddy had a friend who was down on his luck and in a bottle. He was a nice guy and good employee, so it went sober. This has happened. That has happened in other towns in Texas. They have a dirty politicians and police. Yeah. So the Texas Commission on Water Quality confirmed major deficiencies, including chemicals more than 300% above legal limits. Citizen journalist Jennifer Combs, who runs Southern Bell Watch Facebook page, posted that she received reports of residents being hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. She asked people to share what they were seeing, and information could be passed to state regulators. Then a police chief, Charles Gregory, responded by having her arrested on a state jail felony charge of false alarm or report. Gregory claimed the post creates fear, panic, or unnecessary emergency response within a community. Combs, a mother with a clean record, was taken from her home, handcuffed, and spent 23 hours in jail. The Henderson County grand jury quickly no-billed the case, declining to indict her. Combs then filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against the city and several officials, alleging First Amendment retaliation, malicious prosecution, and deliberate effort to punish her reporting. Like, this sounds like a straight up case of, yeah, going after someone for reporting. Get to the chopper. What you talking about with us? The allegations remain pending and have not been adjudicated. The federal case is Combs v. Gregory. The warrant process came under its own scrutiny. Henderson County Judge R. Scott McKee later wrote that 2 Trinidad officers omitted material information about citizen complaints, water concerns, and the context of Combs' statements when seeking a Facebook search warrant. Being America first is not saying okay to every war you can think of. I'm not saying okay to every war I can think of. I'm just, if China attacks Taiwan, we have a lot of interests in Taiwan that need to be defended. We also have a fucking treaty with Taiwan that says we will defend them. Sorry. It's been in place since the 50s. Yeah, they got a Facebook search warrant. The warrant process came in. So McKee ordered the officers to appear personally for future warrant applications so the court could question them under oath. The judge said omissions can mislead a probable cause determination just as an affirmative misrepresentation can. One day after Fox 4 aired its report, YouTube journalist Winston Knowles, known online as Otto the Watchdog, traveled to Trinidad to protest. He stood outside City Hall with a profane sign condemning bad cops. 18 minutes late into the live stream, police arrested him for disorderly conduct. What we should do is tell China if they invade Taiwan, we will 100% cut off all trade with them, make it the law. We should already be doing that. But Municipal Judge Shalina Bevins dismissed the charge. The City Council responded by firing Judge Bevins. The City Administrator was also shown the door. A wave of resignation. So wait a minute. So the judge dismissed the charge, and then the City Council fired the judge. A wave of resignations followed. Bivens and her attorney have argued that removal was unjust and legally defective. Former chief Gregory later resigned. Interim chief Cameron Beckham was publicly acknowledged what everyone watching already knew. The department has a long history of problems. He admitted to local reporters that there was bad policing for 15 years. Wow. So they're now auditing the Texas Department of Law Enforcement or whatever, and the Rangers are investigating city officials.
Prosecutors say they will no longer accept criminal cases filed by the Trinidad Police Department. Since May, Fox 4 has been reporting on issues within the city of Trinidad, about 70 miles southeast of Dallas. It all started when concerns about water safety led to questionable arrests, and now local prosecutors are refusing to work with the police department and will also review past pending cases. Fox 4's David Santandri has been breaking developments on the story from the very beginning and joins us with his update. David.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, the water has been the primary concern from the beginning, but it led to a spotlight on the police department, and now that department is being stripped of some power.
Who would have thought, though? I spent my whole life staying out of trouble, and then I'm going to jail for a Facebook comment.
Police dash camera footage shows the controversial arrest of Jennifer Combs in May, a felony false alarm charge for a Facebook post highlighting a report that the city's drinking water hospitalized someone. Texas Commission on Environmental Quality has since confirmed issues with the city's water system. This arrest sparked a series of controversies related to Trinidad Police Department, a department now stripped of most of its power.
Astonished, surprised.
On Monday, Trinidad PD received a letter from the Henderson County District Attorney's Office and County Attorney's Office reading, it will no longer accept cases for prosecution solely investigated or filed by the Trinidad Police Department until further notice.
I know exactly what it means.
What does it mean to you?
It means you can't file cases. It means you can't answer calls for service. That's what it means.
Interim Chief Cameron Beckham says this limits the department to mostly traffic enforcement.
Any Class C misdemeanors, they go to our municipal court.
But anything above that?
Anything above that, a sheriff would have to come out and deal with it. And unfortunately, that's just where we're at right now.
The Texas Rangers are investigating city officials, accusations of wrongful arrests, retaliatory firings of city staff, and more related to the ongoing water controversy. We've now also learned the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement is investigating the police department.
This is what we call a full-blown audit.
That audit is mentioned in the DA and county attorney's letter, but details of the audit are unclear.
What's your reaction after reading that letter?
I'm puzzled. Newly appointed city councilman Stephen Stearman calls the letter too generic. He wants more details to find out if policing issues can be corrected or not.
If we're doing something wrong and the city needs to shut down our department, by all means, we're going to shut it down.
We're working with whoever we need to work with to resolve this situation.
Beckham joined the department as an officer last November, but became interim chief in June after Chief Charles Gregory resigned. Regarding the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement's audit, Beckham blames his predecessors.
And TCO has the information to back it up. So, we're talking bad policing for 15 years.
Beckham, however, was a part of controversial search and arrest warrants related to Jennifer Combs. In a letter, Judge R. Scott McKee questioned the accuracy, completeness, and reliability of information presented by Beckham and another officer in Combs' search warrant. Beckham also arrested Winston Knowles for a nonviolent protest of Combs' arrest. Both cases led to national scrutiny before their dismissals.
Is there anything you do differently regarding those cases?
This is the first time anyone from the department has spoken with Fox 4 on camera.
Yes.
What would you do?
Beckham says instead of charging Combs and Knowles, if it were up to him, those cases would have been kicked to the same DA's office, now refusing to take on Trinidad PD cases.
Filed it with the DA's office and let them ascertain whether or not to file charges.
If it were up to you, you would have put it in the hands of the district attorney to decide whether or not a charge should happen or possibly send it to a grand jury.
Yes.
Maybe elaborate, if you can, on that?
No.
Now, T. Cole has the power to effectively shut down a police department. We're still working to get details of that audit that it's performing. We're also waiting to get an update from the Texas Rangers. Now, Trinidad PD has less than a dozen officers, so it's a small department, but this is still a big, important story for that department and members of its community.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. This is crazy, isn't it? So here's more on this story. Many like Mitch McConnell has sold the nation out to China. Well, yeah, his wife is a Chinese, operative. We, the U.S., made China powerful. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We did. Remember when we cut oil to a certain country during World War XI? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Basically, the same thing, kind of the same thing that happened to Japan was a little more severe with Japan. Like Japan wasn't able to get any oil. They had to basically use all their stockpiles, stuff like that, because of what happened. But China has been kind of put in. Too many in our government are compromised by the Chi-Coms. They will stymie an attempt at a full severance with them. People have had their heads out of their asses. And this is not going to, it's not the 19th century. Yeah, it's crazy. It is. Sounds like to drug scheme way back in the 80s, Kermit, West Virginia, while the town involved. Yeah. So Henderson County won't take Trinidad's cases. Is this what we just watched? I think this is what we just watched.
Blank into pieces.
Break.
Past tense.
Broken.
25 words or less.
Stokes, are you okay?
No, I'm not, Meredith Ann. I'm not okay. But thank you for your concern.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 4 Plus.
Prosecutors say they will no longer accept criminal.
Then I'm going to jail for a face.
Right, we saw this is the same ad, same video. So it's the same story. They just played it somewhere else. So, all right. Well, this is good. I hope he sues. I hope she gets a bunch of money.
Summer is heating up, which means celebs on TMZ are stripping down.
Kylie Jenner posted some sexy bikini pics.
Those boobs are not her boobs.
Whoa.
Who cares? She's carved it perfectly. It's a statue of David. TMZ bringing you all the heat.
Weekdays at 1 on Fox 4 Plus.
New developments now on a story we broke last night here on Fox 4. A grand jury has declined to indict a woman arrested over a Facebook post about water issues in a North Texas city.
So this is happening in Trinidad. It's in Henderson County, which is southeast of Dallas. Jennifer Combs got in hot water with the city's police chief after she posted saying that she'd heard people had been hospitalized because of the town's water. And we are learning that she is not the only one to be arrested while speaking out about the city's water. Fox 4's David Sintendry joins us now with more. David.
Well, this was a quick decision by the grand jury, and now it is one of 2 arrests related to the water controversy that will not be moving forward.
I cover stories that get ignored.
Citizen journalist Winston Knowles goes by the name Otto the Watchdog.
And I focus on small towns because they need the most help.
And last week,
my name is Winston Knowles.
Knowles' 80,000 YouTube subscribers had live access of his arrest for holding up a sign outside Trinidad Police Department.
So I came out to Trinidad because I found out that the chief of police had arrested a lady for making a Facebook post.
On Wednesday, Fox 4 shared an exclusive interview with Jennifer Combs, a citizen journalist arrested for a Facebook post reading, "We have received reports that some citizens have been hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. This is a serious public health concern that deserves immediate attention."
There's a lot of people complaining about the water.
Fox 4 has received images from residents of deeply discolored water. City leaders admit there's a water issue that's been going on for years. Still, Chief of Police Charles Gregory believes no one has been hospitalized, and in a social media post of his own, said Combs' post creates fear, panic, or unnecessary emergency response within a community, charging her with felony false alarm or report. Combs, who says she was simply trying to investigate, maintains people have reported hospitalization, and the mayor says he's at least seen social media posts claiming the same.
We are in a crisis with the First Amendment right now.
So Knowles protested Combs' arrest with a sign we cannot show on television, reading, "Expletive, bad cops."
I don't like the bad.
Probably, I
enforcement.
think it says F-U-C-K.
18 minutes into Knowles' live stream, he was arrested, charged with misdemeanor disorderly conduct for the sign.
What they did to me was so clearly unconstitutional that any reasonable officer should have known better.
On Thursday, however, Trinidad's municipal judge says Knowles' case is being dismissed, and a Henderson County grand jury no-billed Combs' case, meaning it's dismissed due to a lack of evidence. Now, for unknown reasons, City Hall is closed until next Tuesday, while many wonder what exactly is going on with the water.
A lot of people had no idea that this was going on. Now they do.
The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality confirms to Fox 4 that it has an investigation into Trinidad's water situation. We reported that yesterday. We reached out to the agency earlier today to see if it has any sort of update, but at this point in time, we have not heard back. Casey, Heather.
All right, David Sintendry, thank you.
Okay. It's been the policy of the United States. It's called the where we don't acknowledge that we will defend them. All right. It's been a weird thing. It's been a long time that's been going on. It's Carter is the one. Carter was the one that basically stopped when, basically put it in motion to stop open alliances with Taiwan. And I believe it wasn't. We still, when I was in the Navy, we still trained with Taiwanese Navy people. It wasn't later when it was much later when they stopped that. Under Clinton, I believe, when we stopped actually training with them, or did like training drills and stuff with them, and they participated in like Westpac and stuff like that. So this was the police chief that arrested the lady. So he resigned from his position, and he's declined requests for interviews. Judge increases scrutiny on the arrest. Let's see.
A judge is increasing the scrutiny on a small North Texas police department after its recent arrest of a woman over a Facebook post. The judge took issue with a warrant application two Trinidad police officers submitted last month. Fox 4's David Sintendry obtained a letter the judge sent to the department. It wasn't a friendly letter. David.
Hey, Steve, yeah. The judge who signed off on this search warrant for this controversial case now claims he was misled by two police officers. Henderson County District Court Judge R. Scott McKee sent a scathing letter to outgoing Trinidad Police Chief Charles Gregory, casting doubt on the reliability of two Trinidad officers. It's related to Jennifer Combs and her now dismissed felony charge of false alarm or report. Combs wrote on her anonymous Facebook page, Southern Bell Watch, "We have received reports that some citizens have been hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. This is a serious public health concern that deserves immediate attention." Judge McKee's letter questions the accuracy, completeness, and reliability of information presented to him by Sergeant Robert McComsey and investigator Cameron Beckham in their effort to get a search warrant connecting Combs to Southern Bell Watch. Fox 4 has highlighted ongoing water concerns from Trinidad residents, and Judge McKee says Trinidad officers did not disclose citizen complaints, water quality concerns, and information tending to explain the basis upon which Combs' statements were made. The judge appears to question whether a fair and complete presentation of evidence was made available to him, citing the Constitution's Fourth Amendment, which protects citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures. We shared the letter with criminologist Alex Del Carmen, who calls it stern, factual, and says it puts the chief on notice.
It goes to show you that the judge has lost faith, in all likelihood, in these officers. He can only go by the information that is given to him, and he is relying on these folks to give him the accurate information. And the omission of information, which he highlights in the letter, is equally important as the presence of information for that judge to determine that probable cause is in fact in place, right?
Del Carmen says these days most warrants are electronically signed, but Judge McKee's letter says any future warrant application submitted by Sergeant McCumsey and or Investigator Beckham shall require the officer's personal appearance before the court.
What he is basically also...
Well, that's good. That's good. So I hope these guys all get in a lot of trouble. So they're puzzled after reading the letter, want more details to find out the policing issues can be fixed. But yeah, so they got water problems. It's probably just a shitty well. So a family in Trinidad alleged that after showering with the city's water, their teenage daughter suffered a chemical burn. So there's been a lot of stuff going on there. So the fact that, another lawsuit filed in Trinidad as water quality issues persist.
A North Texas mayor wants the Texas Rangers to investigate after complaints about water quality cascaded into arrests, firings, and now lawsuits. Good evening, everybody. I'm Casey Stiegel. It's 9 o'clock. This is all happening in Trinidad, population about 800 on the south side of Cedar Creek Reservoir in Henderson County. Last week, we told you about 2 arrests that triggered free speech concerns. A woman arrested for posting about the city's water issues and a man for protesting her arrest. Well, now 2 city employees are suing the city for wrongful termination. One, the city's water clerk, who says she refused to lie for city leaders. Fox 4's David Santendry has been following this story from the very beginning, breaking all of the information, and joins us tonight with the live update. David.
Hey, Casey, the new lawsuit calls this a campaign of targeted retaliation, and now the mayor wants the Texas Rangers to step in.
This is where the water goes right before the water tower and then to people's homes?
Yes. By now, you've likely heard concerns regarding City of Trinidad's water under investigation by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality.
I've never felt safe to drink the water.
Alex Estrada worked several maintenance roles for the City of Trinidad for more than 3 years.
All right.
They didn't maintain the water lines correctly, in my opinion.
They don't maintain the water lines correctly. So I think we get the point. There were some serious water concerns in this town. A lot of people complaining. And the fucking police chief just started arresting people for complaining about the water. Which is insane. So you're glad to have well water? Yeah. Well, the city probably has a well. It's just probably a shitty well. The city water is probably coming from a well. I don't think we're in Texas else if they didn't have a well. So it's just a community well, like a municipal well, not an individual well. So, and what happens is if they when you have like a large well, like a huge well that a whole city is drawing from, even if it's just a city of 600-700 people, if they have like a huge draw on it, like a peak time of drawing, it can soot and stuff could get, stirred up and basically get the water. That's why you should have a filter on your house, put a water filter on your house, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm not defending the city or anything like that. I'm just saying these things are known to happen, stuff like this, the complaints, but you don't arrest people. You definitely don't arrest people for protesting and stuff like that. Yes, don't complain or you'll be arrested. Definitely. That's what the message they're trying to get across. All right, let's get to the next story. What do you say? I think we covered this one pretty much to death. So Mandami's city grocery store official explains how their plan to keep privately owned stores in business will make things even worse. So a woman who's supposed to be the lead person from Commie Mandami's team for the city-owned grocery store explains that private-owned stores are in trouble. They'll be able to apply for grants from the city, which will only make things worse and far more expensive. It's crazy. From a water treatment facility. Yes. That looked like more like a gross amount of iron than anything else. Yeah. Is why certain things for sure I would hope gets fully inspected. Yes. That's sewer water. It looks pretty gross. Compared to Tijuana, that looks tasty. What's up, Mike? How you doing? Thanks for being here. So to recap, taxpayers pay for the city-owned grocery stores. Then those stores threaten the private-owned stores. Taxpayers fund grants for the stores. Taxpayers keep paying and paying no matter what happens. So here goes her interview. Ready?
I think ultimately the goals of these locations, not just here in East Harlem, but any borough location, is to be complementary to the neighborhood, and really, rising tide.
Why is it somebody with a shaved head? This is turned up as loud as it'll go, too.
Do you mind? What is the? I've heard that term from EDC officials, that these are meant to be complementary. What does that mean? What does that complementary mean in terms of policy, operations, and things like that?
Yeah, I think we're, as an agency looking at a number of different complementary, policies and programs, grants, incentives that can come alongside.
Did you catch that? Because you keep saying complementary. What does that mean? Well, as an agency, we're looking at things to be complementary. Yeah, you create the problem, you throw gasoline on the problem, you fix the problem, you solve the problem. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they do. You see? One town I lived in had a contaminated well, and they hid it by mixing good water with failing well to dodge state inspectors. Oh, my God. Do you drink that water or chew it? Well, I guess you do something. Oh, Marjorie, good night. Thanks for being here. You almost made it to the end. You're close. Close, but no cigar. Almost made it. Almost there. Create the problem, throw gasoline on the problem you created to solve the problem. Yeah, there you go. That's what you do. Yeah. You send that twice or just
grocery stores to support other, local independent businesses that are in the neighborhoods. We're going to continue to listen, and we're going to continue to engage. And I'll be, alongside the operator as our partner. And like I said, making sure that we are complementary to the other businesses that are.
Looks really qualified, right? You can tell by the shaved head. That's how you know someone's qualified. They shave their head.
Under this?
Something on the table. We're exploring a lot of different options and opportunities. I think, there's a whole host of levers that the EDC is able to work within to make sure that, everyone has equitable and equal access.
Equitable. There you go. Equitable. She used the word equitable. There you go. So that's how you know, That's how you know that they're up to something. So look at those teeth. Is she British? Well, who knows? Les. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say it. Our partner, opportunities, equitable. Yeah, she isn't saying anything. No, she's not saying anything. She doesn't have an answer. So check this out. The ICE quietly worked with Iran to deport Iranians to Iran. What do you know? Oh, hold on 1 second. All right, everybody, here we go. It's my biltong cooking video. Please enjoy and check out these things I created just for you. It's for everybody. Well, look at this. We got a nice ribeye from King of Biltong USA. We got some fried chicken quarters. We're going to make these. We're going to make this Boer Wars. We're going to cook this up and make some good stuff. All right, here we are outside. Here's the Traeger grill. It says it's at $3.99. So let's get crack-a-lackin' and put this stuff on. What do you say? Huh? Get some good food going. All right, so there it is on the grill. The sausage, the Boer Wars, some ribeye, and some chicken quarters. We're gonna cook this up. See, there's my yard. I'll tell you guys here's my Blackstone grill.
U.S. immigration officials worked directly with authorities in Iran to deport more than 100 Iranians. The emails show Iranian officials even requesting changes to deportation lists, with ICE officials
sorry, I was muted.
Last-minute
My
changes
bad.
to the lists at Iran's request. Human rights groups are.
My bad. Sorry. I said Frisky wanted to go out of the room, and Bella didn't want to let her out, so I had to do that to open the door and hold Bella so she could run out. My bad. No. Yes. So this is good news. So the ICE worked with Iran to deport people. Did you guys hear the video or just not me?
It's on. Okay, the video's on? All right, good.
Criticizing the coordination, particularly because some of those deported were asylum seekers. DHS has denied allegations that ICE shared confidential asylum information with the Iranian government. Let's go live now to CBS News immigration correspondent Karmelo Anthony. Hey, Karmelo. So what do these newly released emails reveal about just how closely ICE coordinated with Iranian officials on the deportations?
Good morning, Mugo. The emails do in fact reveal that there was some degree of coordination between ICE here in the U.S. and officials in Tehran over deportations of Iranian nationals and immigrants last year, even amid the increased tensions between the U.S. and Iran. The emails appear to indicate, Mugo, that Iranian officials in the U.S. and in Tehran had some input into who could be placed on deportation flights from the U.S. And that, of course, Mugo, raises a whole host of questions about the safety of deportees who, as you rightly noted, could be asylum seekers fleeing persecution by the repressive
we know they
regime
were.
in
No, we
Tehran.
don't know.
The messages also show that the deportation of Iranians became a priority for the White House.
Did they kill
in
them
June
all?
of 2025, with emails showing that the head of ICE and other agency leaders were urging officials at the time to move quickly to deport Iranian nationals with deportation orders. That push prompted some officials at ICE and the State Department to note that it was very difficult at the time to deport anyone to Iran, since at the time, Tehran was not issuing travel documents and the airspace was actually closed, Mugo, because of the conflict with the U.S. Now, ultimately, 3 deportation flights with Iranian deportees made it out of the U.S. after that deportation push by the White House before the ongoing war with Iran broke out effectively this year. In one case, according to the emails, Muga, one person was deported despite the fact that they were not on the flight manifest. Now, I should underscore that ICE sources, Mugo, tell me that this type of coordination with foreign governments is routine and standard for ICE, because the agency has to collaborate with countries, including unfriendly ones, to deport immigrants in the U.S. illegally or who become deportable because of criminal conduct. But the emails are still striking because they show some behind-the-scenes collaboration between 2 adversaries who were about to engage in an open armed conflict, and also because Iranian-American activists are saying that the U.S. is effectively sharing confidential information with Iran on potential deportees and asylum seekers who could be in danger if they return to that country. Muga?
Yeah, and Karmelo, this is probably still too early for us to know at this point, but do we know what may have happened to some of those people once they were deported to?
No, we don't know. We don't know what happened to any of them. That's the thing. We don't know. This guy goes to the same barber as Mondami's assistant. Yeah, they got a whole, like they get a discount, buy one, get one type of thing. Did they throw him from the plane, boss? They just throw him from the plane. There you go. I did a hokey pokey and turned my life around. And I ran so far away, they couldn't get away. Bom, 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 bom. He's straighter, though. You think so? Maybe a little straight. Maybe. Could be. Possibly. So emails show that Iranian officials had some influence over which immigrants the U.S. were sent back to their home country. But yeah, the Iranians got the ones back that they liked. Like there was ones that were here that were like, get people that we were deporting people that had connections to the IRGC, people that were in, like people that we caught that were like, oh, wait, this guy actually was part of the IRGC. Oh, he's got to go back. That's what happened. So coordination of the flights remained a high priority, even as ICE acknowledged that internally Iranians were fleeing Iran. Yeah, well, shit happens. So Iranian officials acknowledged that as many as 400 Iranians could be returned under the agreement with the Trump administration. So that's good. Take them back. So we need a plan forward. We need to identify a solution for the White House priority. It was a top priority to kick out as many Iranians as possible. Good. So any ones that are connected to the IRGC, we don't want in the country. They're terrorists. They're Islamists. They're Islamo-fascists. Teeth are straighter. Well, okay, his teeth were straighter. There you go. Allegations that ICE shared asylum application records with the Iranian government is false. So there you go. It's false. Never did it. All right, next story. This one's a kind of an important story, I think. According to this, Derek Chauvin's attorneys make bombshell motion to dismiss alleging fraudulent conduct by Tim Walz and Keith Ellison. Attorneys for former police officer Derek Chauvin filed a petition Tuesday seeking to dismiss the state murder charges against him. All right. They said that Tim Walz and assigned Keith Ellison illegally to prosecute the case. Chauvin was convicted of second-degree murder. Video showed Chauvin had his knee on his neck for over. No, it's not what the video showed, you lying motherfuckers. The video did not show him have his knee on the neck for 9 minutes. That does not happen. His knee was on his back. There was no damage at all to the fucking guy. All right. An autopsy revealed that there was both fentanyl and methamphetamine in the man's system, which may have been contributing factors to his death. You don't think, you think. Chauvin eventually got on top of him and put his knee on his neck to subdue him. His knee was never on his neck, it was on his back. Chauvin is currently serving a state sentence of 22 years in addition to a 21-year federal sentence. The cop got railroaded. Yeah, all the cops got railroaded. Chauvin got hosed. He got lynched. Yep. May have. That's a lot of words there. Chauvin's attorney argued that Walt's assignment of the case was illegitimate and it violated the law. So, because Hennepin County unlawful charges against Chauvin were not severe enough for the mob, Waltz referred the case to Ellison, who signed and e-filed a second unfounded complaint. That complaint never went to a grand jury. There was enough fentanyl in the system to take him out 3 times. What's the news on the gypsies in Gaza? I didn't hear anything. What about the gypsies in Gaza? There were severe due process violations. Whatever else may be, he's not a murderer. Billionaire Elon Musk said Derek Chauvin was unjustly convicted of murder. I thought the Frisbee was getting bigger, then it hit me. So George Floyd would still be alive if only he complied with police. Body camera clearly show, even though he was finally wrangling the police car, he escaped the other side. If he had sat in the car, he'd be alive. He was chewing. You can see a video of him chewing on a speedball. I mean, come on.
Please, please, take a seat. Please. No, take a seat. I can't choke. I can't breathe, Robert. Please.
You can't chew. You can't breathe.
My wrist, please.
My wrist, my back. So, yeah, we all knew that this is a bunch of bullshit. Floyd was calling for that he couldn't breathe before Chauvin took action to subdue him. Yeah. Derek Chauvin targets George Floyd murder conviction with new claims. The prosecution was unlawful. Judge approves new lawyer for Brian Koberger. Attorneys representing Chauvin filed a request with the Minnesota Court of Appeals. Derek Chauvin was unjustly convicted, therefore he should be freed. The facts show that he was not the cause of death, nor did he at any time intend the death to occur. Whatever else he may be, he's not a murderer. That's the truth. That's what Elon Musk says. I have to agree with Elon Musk. I have to agree with Elon Musk. Post Millennial says Derek Chauvin asked state to overturn conviction in George Floyd case. Same thing, basically. 31-page court petition said that they violated Chauvin's due process rights. So I hope something happens with this, because I don't think he murdered him. I really don't. I think it was overdose, and I think it was the mob and the push for, Black Lives Matter and all that bullshit that forced this forward, and that it shouldn't have never went like this. That's my opinion. Are they eating what is sent, or are they still starving? I don't know. I think they're eating it. I don't know. There was a story about them black markets and selling all the shit. The Cole report said Floyd died of an overdose. George Floyd, the moment he pounded 8 balls on top of fentanyl, was dead. No level of compliance would save him. He Darwin awarded himself. If he hadn't been high while passing fake cash, yeah, there's all types of things. Are they turning the frogs gay? I think they might be turning the frogs gay. I really do. Well, I think they might be. Well, San Francisco drag queen stuns audience with Charlie Kirk assassination reenactment. The coroner report. Yeah, the coroner report. So, a disturbing video has been circulating online showing a drag performer reenacting and mocking the assassination of Charlie Kirk. A performer wearing a white bloodied Freedom t-shirt with a fake neck wound gleefully dances to the song Bulletproof while images of Kirk appear across the steam behind him. Oh. The clip comes from TPUSA Gay, a touring satirical drag show that mocks major conservative figures. They performed in the San Francisco nightclub Oasis. Well, I can't play. There's music, so you can see they're dancing. So they think it's funny that he died. These are the people that they say are like the really, the frogs are gay. Really? No. I can't play. Not good. No, I can't play the music because, music. But similar shows have been marketed as right-wing satire and fundraisers for the ACLU. Drag performer Lauren Bennell, who frequently does Erica Kirk impersonations, hosting the world tour. This is sick. Yeah, and all the while, Candace Owens is running around claiming that the Turning Point USA and trying to insinuate that Erica Kirk was involved. Individuals reacted strongly to the clip on social media, slamming the production. They turned a murder into a stage show. There's no coming back from that one. It's vile, evil, and disgusting. While some people call for it to be treated like a chargeable offense. Yeah, such an oppressed minority. Yeah. Drag queens host an event where they mock the brutal assassination of Charlie Kirk. This is a death cult. They turned murder into a stage show. There's no coming back. Yeah. Drag queens host an event where they mock the brutal assassination. Oh, not okay. Perverted in every sense, drag act mocks the murder of Charlie Kirk while people cheer it on. So Charlie Kirk was assassinated September 10th while speaking at a Turning Point USA event at Utah Valley University. He was struck in the neck with a bullet fired by Tyler Robinson, according to the prosecution. He's been charged with aggravated murder and related offenses. Proofreading is now a pastime. You ain't kidding. You've seen it on National Geographic, I think is what you're trying to say. So August 7th event was opening at a tour. The next date was scheduled for August 28th in LA. The parody show will hit Salt Lake City, Utah, Chicago, Denver, New York, and Orlando. I wonder who put the book of loves. So. What do you know? The captain of a capsized boat that killed a mom and her baby was an illegal alien. Screw you, Tubi. Yeah, I know. A 5-month-old girl went in New York Harbor without a life jacket. Her mother went in holding her. Both came out dead. The man at the wheel had no captain's license. Too many bodies on a 21-foot boat and no legal right to stand on American soil. His name is Emmanuel Ernesto Hernandez Humana. He's a 46-year-old from El Salvador. On August 8th, he took a Yamaha AR-210 out near Liberty Island for a birthday cruise, packed 14 people onto a vessel built for 10, then tried to punch through a swell. The bow went under. The boat flipped. Sarah Sanchez and her infant daughter never came back. Federal authorities now say the captain's a legal alien who's been living here since 2007. It's not a clerical footnote. It's the whole story. He lied at the border and stayed for 19 years. Hernandez entered through Texas after telling CBP that he was a United States citizen. He was not. He stayed anyways. But they don't check. Someone just comes in and says, yes, I'm a citizen. They just let you in. He drove limousines. He worked for a tour outfit. Then he started running unlicensed harbor trips, including on a friend's boat he had not registered and was not certified to operate to accept paying customers. This is what sanctuary culture produces. A man who commits fraud at the border gets a job, a boat, a night on the water, and a baby in his care. No Coast Guard ticket, no infant flotation devices on board. According to complaint, he told passengers they did not need life jackets. The parents wore theirs. The 5-month-old did not. The baby's father, Andres Garcia, survived. So did Hernandez Humana. 12 people were pulled from the harbor by other charter crews and the Coast Guard. 2 were already dead. Yeah, they used to not check back in 2007. They were just ask you at the border country of origin. Wow. The criminal legal alien was recklessly conducting unlicensed boat tours. They killed a 27-year-old woman and a 5-month-old baby. Once he faces justice for his crimes, we'll make sure he's swiftly removed from the country. No pun, Jim. You were able to read between the lines. Oh, good. Negligence with a badge of impunity. Prosecutors charged with 2 counts of misconduct and neglect of a ship officer resulting in death. NYPD commissioner said he showed a complete disregard for the safety of his passengers. A federal judge let him walk on $50,000 bail after only the Coast Guard investigative service confirmed he should have been obvious he was unlawfully present. Did ICE take him into custody? New York Post and Fox News reported the sequence of tragedy, then the paperwork, then at last the immigration hold. That innocent blood not be shed in thy land, which thy Lord giveth thee for inheritance, and blood be upon thee. It's crazy. A nation that will not ask a simple question at the border, who are you and why are you here, will eventually answer a harder one at a hospital morgue. The Statue of Liberty stood a few hundred yards away while the question was still written in salt water. Open borders did not give Antonella Garcia a better life. They gave an unlicensed illegal alien a tiller and a party of 14. The rest is grief, charges, and deportation. Wow. Wow. Illegal immigrant accused of operating an overcrowded boat.
A woman and 5-month-old baby are dead after a boat overturned off the coast of Liberty Island in New York Harbor late last night. A handful of other passengers were also hospitalized as the NYPD says 12 people were rescued from the waters before officers even arrived. Excuse me. A police source tells Fox News Digital that the vessel was a 22-foot bow rider, although it's still unclear what caused
Bow rider, not bow rider. How did I get so lucky to catch the stream live? Hit the thumbs up. Yeah, there you go. Hit a thumbs up. So he's operating an overcrowded, unlicensed boat that capsized. Yeah. He was initially charged with 13 counts of reckless endangerment and was later federally charged with 2 counts of misconduct and neglect of ship's officer. He was operating unlicensed boat tours, ignored multiple safety requirements. He entered illegally in 2007. Wow. And still here, running, working, doing on stuff. Wow. He said he didn't know that a merchant marine credential or Coast Guard certification of inspection was required. The criminal legal alien was illegally, recklessly conducting unlicensed boat tours when the boat capsized, killing a 27-year-old woman and a 5-month-old baby. Yeah, babies have to have life jackets. You have to have infant life. Members of the chat, you realize you can make Jim stream longer. All you have to do is send him super chats. Well, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen tonight. I think we're $59 away, and I think that's it. I think that's all there is. I think that's all she wrote tonight. But you guys are in luck because there is a guy streaming right now named Joe, Good Logic, who I used to stream with, but I will still send a raid over there because that's the type of person I am. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody who's here. Please hit the like. Please subscribe. It really helps. Please go check out the video I made earlier today of me cooking some biltong food that was sent to me. Well, it's not biltong. It's an Angus ribeye steak. And it's also some chicken and some sausages. And it's on both Rumble and YouTube. You can check it out. And you guys can go on over to Joe. Maybe I'll go on. I don't know if he'll invite me on or not. But I will see everybody tomorrow, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock tomorrow, unless Rob Gavea streams later, then I will start later because I follow Rob Gavea. So thank you to everyone. Everyone. Thank you to everyone who's here. And we will see everybody tomorrow at 7 for Jim to tell you the news.